the shadows. I see them on my brain.
What's up, everybody? How is everybody doing tonight? My name is No Mercy, of course. It's Tuesday night, so you already know what time it is. It's time for No Punches Pulled with me, No Mercy. Those of you that know who I am, I appreciate you for being here. My name is Brooke Millbrook, formerly known in the fight business as Brooke No Mercy Dierdorff. I am a retired professional boxer, held the WBC lightweight title until I retired and was inducted into the International Women's Boxing Hall of Fame last year. I have been through some good, some bad, and of course, a whole lot of BS in the sport of women's boxing. Y'all know how it is. But welcome to my platform. This is where we talk the talk, and of course, we walk the walk. We're going to bring out the truth in women's boxing. We're going to talk to pioneers of the sport, past boxers, current boxers, and of course, future female boxers. We get down and dirty here and speak the truth of what takes place behind the scenes, things that no one knows about. You definitely don't want to miss a single show, so please make sure that you like, subscribe, and you're sharing out the episodes so you don't miss us live here every Tuesday night. But today we are joined by another boxing icon and legend in the sport of women's boxing. I'm honored to call her a close friend, and I consider her family. I'm so excited to sit down and talk about her immaculate, legendary career with all of you. We've got my girl Chevelle Fist of Steel Hallback in the house. She began her boxing journey in 1997 with no amateur or fighting experience, diving right into the pros. In only her second pro fight, with only 47 seconds of experience from her first fights, she faced unknowingly beforehand one of the biggest, fiercest, dangerous names in the sport of women's boxing at the time, Lucia Rijker. But only 3 fights later, she won the WIBF featherweight world title via TKO over Bonnie Canino. And in 2002, she won a unanimous decision over number 4 ranked featherweight to add the IBA women's junior lightweight title. The same year, she won a 10-round decision over the number 2 ranked featherweight Layla McCarter. In 2005, in Tokyo, Japan, she won the WIBA super featherweight title by unanimous decision over the local favorite Amico Rakia. And in 2008, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, in a pay-per-view co-main event, she defeated previously unbeaten Janine Garside for the IFBA lightweight world title and the history's first ever WBAN championship belt. She was also awarded WBAN Fighter of the Month in June 2008 for that win. She has literally been in the ring with some of the best names in the sport of women's boxing. To name a few, you got Lucia Rijker, Bonnie Canino twice, Laura Serrano, Alicia Ashley, Layla McCarter twice, Melissa Del Val twice, Mary Jo Sanders, Holly Holmes, Fujin Rakia, Terry Blair, Melissa Hernandez, Janine Garside, Cecilia Brekas, and Miriam Lamar. But y'all, at the age of 51, my girl Chevy's still out there schooling these young bucks. She's no doubtedly one of the greatest women of all time. She's an idol to myself and so many other females out there. So please help me welcome Chevelle to the show. What's up, champ?
What's going on? What's going on? I'm just smiling as you saying all these things. I'm like, wow. I was like, dang. So when I fought these cats, like they was like rank either 1, number 2, or the favorite. I'm like, wow. I didn't really realize that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or until you just said it, I'm like, wow. So I've really been doing it big, huh?
You like dust them off.
Just a little bit.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yes, man, definitely. We'll definitely go down. You already know, one of the best ever to live in women's boxing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. But first, why don't you take us back to the beginning? Tell us a little bit about your childhood and what actually led you to want to do boxing.
Man, let's see. Okay, what year Rocky came out? Rocky 1. I think I'm like 1970.
74?
4 or 5.
Somewhere in there?
Let's say 75. Let's say 75. If it was 75, I was I had already turned 5. I turned 5 because I think Rocky came out like in October, November, December, one of those. So I just turned 5, and my mother took me to see Rocky, right, movie theater.
Mhm.
And my mother, she's very, very animated. Um, I remember in the movie when Rocky's getting beat up uh, by Apollo Creed, my mother in the middle of the movie theater, she stood up and she started screaming at Rocky, hit him back, hit him back, hit him back, right? And so I'm looking at her and I'm like, yeah, hit him back,
Hey.
you know? And that excitement, it just really intrigued me.
Yeah.
So 2 years after that, I'm watching Muhammad Ali and Spinks. There's a long story behind it. Try to make it a little short. Supposed to be in bed, but my mother was in the bedroom with my father, and I heard her scream, "Hit him back! Hit him back!" So I jumped out of bed because this
Yeah.
really familiar to me, right?
Right.
Okay. So I run and I jump, and I'm looking in my mother's bedroom, and this tells you how old I am, but I'm not ashamed of it. On the floor was a floor model TV, and it
Yeah.
was Muhammad Ali and Spinks, their second fight. And
Okay.
I remember standing there and I'm bobbing and weaving, and just punching in the air. And I'm like, man, I wish I can do that. Like, that was so exciting to me. Like, I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But of course, I didn't know. I don't think anyone knew or heard of women boxing at that time.
Right.
I went to bed. Okay. Years later, I think I started training in 1995. Um, I think what's his name? Tyson. Tyson was fighting, right?
Yeah.
And the Tyson card was Deidre Goddery and Christy Martin.
Yeah.
And so I'm at a house party because back then everybody threw the Tyson fight parties,
Yeah.
right? So I'm at a fight party and they come on and I'm like, what? The what? And everybody's like looking at me like, what's wrong? I'm like, do you see what I see? Do you see what's on TV? Like, there's two
Right.
females fighting. Like, oh my god! Like, and it brought me back to when I said, I wish I can do that, right?
Right.
And I think at the time, I think I was 24, if I'm not mistaken. So that was a Saturday. That next Monday, I went to the gym. I walked in and I'm looking around. I'm like, yeah, only female, but I'm like, yeah. So the trainer came and he was like, can I help you? Make a long story short, I'm like, yeah, I want a box, and he took me through it. He tried to discourage me, and I was like, I want a box, still want a box. He was like, you still want to do this? And I'm like, I do, I will, and one day I'll become a world champion.
Yeah.
And the rest is history,
Yeah. Yeah. But so I'm sure like most females starting out being the only female in the gym, did he put you in there and try to he put you in there with some good ass
Man, listen,
fighters, didn't he? And try to have
listen,
them beat your ass to make you quit.
listen. Okay, so I was trying to make that long story short, but since you want to pull it out of me, okay. So I'm in the gym. He put me on the bag, right? And I'm hitting this bag. I think for like 2 3 weeks, I'm hitting the bag, just hitting the bag. He's not paying me any mind. Just 1 2 1 2, just hitting the bag, hitting the bag. And so I'm looking around and I see, in the corner there, a big old ring, and we got two guys sparring. They beating the crap out of each other, right? And I'm like, hey, come, let me holler at you. And he was like, what's up? And I'm like, listen, what I'm gonna do more. And he's like, well, what do you want to do? I said, I want to do what they're doing. And I pointed to the guys, sparring.
Yeah.
He said, you want to do that? I said, yes, I want to do what they're doing. This is what I came for.
Right.
And, I, being the oldest out of all my cousins, right? I was the protector. So I know how to street fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And most of the time when I got into a fight, it wasn't with females, it was with guys. So, we all know that street fighting and boxing is totally different. But at the time, I didn't think so.
Right.
And I was
You had something.
You know what I'm saying? I'm beating guys' butt in the street. So, I mean, what's the ring, right? So I told him, I said, I want to do what those guys are doing. So he told me the equipment, the gear that I needed to spar, right? Okay, boom. Come next week, we're going to spar. So I get in there, he put this guy in there with me. And I'm just, just doing what I do, what I know how to do. And the guy, he making me miss. And he went down and said, bim, in my body. And I went down. I got back up. By this time, everyone in the gym has stopped. I don't understand.
They stopped and circled the ring.
I don't understand why a male would get so much thrill of seeing another male beat on a woman.
Right.
I don't get that part. But
I don't get it.
anyways, everyone stopped. They're around the ring. They're looking, right? So I get up. I jump right up and I go right at it. Go right at it. Make me miss again and boom to the body again. And I went down. I jumped right back up. Man, listen, let's get it, right?
Right.
This time I'm going at him. I'm trying to kill him, right? I'm
Right.
on him. He's and I'm on him, right? Boop, boop. I drop. I jump back up. By this time, she said, that's enough. That's it. That's enough, right? So everybody around the ring looking and they're chuckling, you know, and everything. I'm like, okay. So I go in the bathroom, and of course, you know, not so much I was hurt, but my pride was hurt.
Yeah.
Right?
Your feelings
I was
was hurt.
embarrassed. Everybody looking, they're laughing, or whatever the case may be. So, you know, I shed a couple of little tears. I sat there. Then I thought about it. Then I got myself together. I went to the sink. I washed my face, made sure my eyes wasn't red. Waited a little minute. And I went back out. I went up to the trainer. I said, okay, so what time I need to be back tomorrow? He was like, what? I said, what time do I need to be back tomorrow? Right. And he was like, so you really think you want to do this? And I was like, nah, I don't think I want to do it. I know I want to do it. I am going to do it. And not only am I going to be a fighter, but I'm going to be a world champion one day.
Yeah.
Right? So, not having any amateur background, I went to the amateur shows, but there was no one there ever to fight me. Like I said, boxing was fairly new. So after a year, I think a year and a half, I turned pro. After I made that statement, I think a year, almost like 2 years after I made that statement, I fought for my first title, 10 rounds. It was against Bonnie Canino, and I became a world title holder.
Yeah, you did that.
Rest is history.
You did that. Yo, Michelle, what's up? I see you. Thanks for joining us. Well, so yes, no amateurs. It was hard to get amateur fights, period, for all of us back then, which thus I had an amateur career, but 15 fights. I mean, I wouldn't really call that much of an amateur career. It is what it is. But take us back to the moment when you first found out that night before you were to fly out for your second fight against Lucia Rijker unknowingly. When you found out you were who your opponent was on HBO. Take us back to that moment. What were you thinking? Why did you continue with the fight? And how did you not know who you were fighting? Let me guess. You didn't have to sign a contract back then, right?
Okay, so let me tell you. You mentioned it earlier when you introduced me. My first fight.
47 seconds.
I didn't have any amateur background. So my first fight, I fought someone. She was about like 3 inches taller than I was. She was a beast because she was a bodybuilder. And so in the dressing room, getting ready for that fight, you know, you warming up and everything, right? So her dressing room right beside mine. Now me, I am so nervous. Like even to this day, I am so nervous before a fight back in the dressing room. Like I don't want to warm up. Like I just want to listen to some music. But of course, we know we have to warm up, right? So I'm hitting the pads a little bit, you know, going through the motion. On her end, she's hitting the pads, and it sounded like
bombs going off.
Rockets. It sounded like boom, 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 right? I'm like, oh. So anyways.
Now you're like, shit, your pants not just nervous. You're like, what the fuck?
What the? So my trainer, now let me go back a little bit. Now at the weigh-in, I think the fight was for 135 pounds?
Featherweight.
No, 140
Wasn't it
pounds.
featherweight? Or no, did you start out heavier and then go back down to featherweight?
No, no. My first fight, what was I? No, we talking about our first fight. No, I actually, let me tell you. So I think the contract was, 140, 140, 135. I can't remember. But anyways, coach was like, I think it was 140. Coach was like, you're not going to make make this weight, right? When I in the contract, I was much lighter, you know what I'm saying, than what the contract. But I'm like, man, I done trained for a year and a half. We fighting today. We'll make it happen, right? So she weighed in first. I think the fight was like 140, I think. But anyway, she weighed in first, right? And she took all her clothes off, except for bra and underwear, you know. And she stepped on the scale and she was 150, right? And so coach was like, they're not gonna let you fight, right? And this was, I think it was like in February, if I'm not mistaken, in Miami. So it was you know, a little chill. So I had on sweatpants and whatnot. So I went up to the commission. I said, hey, I'm looking at everyone around me. They're taking their clothes off when they're weighing in. I've never seen anybody weigh in with their clothes on. So I went to the commissioner and I said, hey, I said, can I weigh in with my clothes on, right?
Yep.
And so he was like, sure. He didn't see any reason why I didn't have to. I mean, he didn't even see any reason why not, right? So we weighed in at a gym. So I'm looking around, right? And I see, you know, the little weights, like the little 5-pound weights and whatnot. So I put it in my pocket, you know, and everything, and weighed in, and it came 147. That's what the weight was for, 147. So I was like 147 on the dot, right? I really weighed at the time 135 pounds. So I came in 147 on the dot. So she came in 150 over. So the commission asked me what I want to do. I said, we fighting. Yeah, we fighting, right? So that's the first thing. So then the second thing, going back in the dressing room, she's warming up, I'm warming up, and she sounds like she's bombs going off, right? And so my trainer, he was like, oh my God, listen, if she hit you one good time, just go down on your knee and just stay there until the referee.
No, he did not tell you to take the ball.
Yes. And I'm like, are we serious right now? Like, are we really serious right now? My trainer told me this?
Right? Is this the same trainer?
No, this is the same trainer with the Lucia Rijker. After Lucia Rijker, he was a dog.
Okay.
You know. So I'm like, oh my God, this is my trainer telling me this. Now, my mother didn't raise no punk, put it that way, you know. So there was no fear in my blood, but I was nervous. Okay. So I'm thinking, oh man, I just got to just jump on this girl as soon as the bell ring, right? First round. Ding, ding. And as soon as that bell said ding, ding, I went at her. And only thing I knew at the time was a 1-2, 1-2. And I went at her 1-2, 1-2, bob and weave, come back up, 1-2, 1-2, bim. She was out of there.
Did you even probably get a chance to throw a punch?
Listen. The girl said that I hit so hard that I could not be in a female. True story. I promise you. I promise you. She said she hit too hard to be a female. That is not a female. She hit too hard to be a female. Do you know, and God bless her soul, Shelly Williams, she's gone now. She died of cancer, but we became like this. She was like with the commissioner. And she was like, listen, gotta take you to the bathroom. And I was like, take me to the bathroom.
They did not check.
Take me to the bathroom. Why are we going to the bathroom, right? So the doctor, you know, you have to get examined every time, you know, before a fight. So the doctor come rushing over and he was like, what's the problem? What's going on? And so she was like, well, she's questioning her sex. And so I got, doctor said, are you serious? That's an insult to my position. That's a female. You can look at her and tell that's a female. What are you talking about? What are you doing here? So Shelly was like, I'm sorry, but she's questioning it, so I have to. I say, hey, it is what it is, right? I didn't care. I really didn't care. I didn't care. Matter of fact, it made me feel so good. Like I hit that hard.
I hit so hard, she thought I was a dude. Like what?
Like that made me feel good. I mean, I might sound crazy, but I'm like, okay. So, anyways, we go to the bathroom, right? And I took out my sports bra, and I'm like, and she's like, I was,
Oh
I
my
was like, I was like, so you want me to take it all off? And she was like, and so I was like, and I took it, and she was like, hey, yup, you're
I
a
mean, I guess
female.
technically you could have got a boat job. Oh my
She said,
God.
well, yeah, you are a
That's the
female.
best one I think I have ever heard. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it is what it is.
The Fist of
It
Steel.
is
Is
what
that
it
how
is.
you got the nickname?
That is, I promise you, that is, it's, Coach gave me the name Steel. He started calling me Fist. First, he started calling me Fist. First, he started calling me Fist, right? And then after that, he was like, Fist of Steel. That's where I got it from.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So going back to the Lucia Rijker fight. So just won my first fight, 46 seconds. Oh man, I thought I was on top of the world. I just fought this big old Amazon to me,
Right.
I'm thinking I could
But
be
nobody. I hit
unbeatable.
like a dude.
There's
I hit like
nobody
a
out there
man.
could
I
beat
don't know
me.
what you're talking about.
What we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like for real, right? So me got the big head and not going to the gym like I was supposed to, not doing my road work like I was supposed to. Coach came to me, he said, hey, this was like 2 weeks before the fight. Hey Jim, we got a hey Fist, I got a fight for you. I'm like, yeah. He was like, now, my first fight was 4 rounds. I got $400.
Okay.
Okay. So he came to me, he was like, got a fight for you. And I think at the time she only had, I think, in boxing, because she had a lot of fights in kickboxing.
Yeah.
She had over 100 fights in
Yes.
kickboxing, but that doesn't transfer over to
Yes.
boxing. That doesn't transfer to your boxing record. So I think boxing, I think when we fought, I think she only had 3 fights, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But anyways, he said, hey, got a fight for you, and they're gonna pay you. He told me $5,000, which it was really, really much more. But I found out later what happened with that. But anyways, he told me $5,000. Now 400 to 5,000 is a big jump to me. Then he told me it was going to be on national TV. From the gymnasium, a local gymnasium, to national TV was a big thing to me, right? So I'm like, let's do it.
Right.
Let's do it.
Right.
Let's go. So for 2 weeks, I trained for 2 weeks, So the night before,
did he know who the opponent was? Okay.
I can't say that he did, but let me. So he told me that the fighter was Lucia Rijker. I'm like, okay, Lucia Rijker. I didn't know who she was. I didn't follow boxing. Only thing I started studying boxing after this fight, and I mostly studied guys like Roy Jones Jr., people that was like the style of fighting that I liked, right? So I really didn't follow boxing. I didn't know, like I said, female boxing was fairly new.
Yeah.
Didn't know. So anyway, he said Lucia Rijker. I was like, okay. He told me her record. I was like, okay. So the night before us to fly out to Texas, because the fight was in Texas, and it was a top ranked promotions. I'm in bed and I'm chilling, and HBO special came on, and the special was about Christy Martin and Lucia Rijker, right? But they were mainly talking about Lucia Rijker. She's new, up and coming, and that was the fight that they was trying to, for Chris Martin and them two to fight, right? So I'm looking at this, and they're showing clips of Lucia Rijker. She was a beast, a beast, and she's knocking everybody out. I mean, she's dropping them clean like it ain't nothing. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, I'm a realist. I believe in my abilities. I know what I can do, but I'm a realist. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, wait, I'm not ready for this type of caliber of fighter. Like,
right.
What? So I get on the phone. I call Coach. I say, Coach, I say, what are you doing? And he said, well, what's up, Fizz? What's up? I said, turn HBO. He was like, what was going on? I said, turn HBO. So he turned HBO. I said, is that the girl that I'm fighting? He got quiet for about like a split 30 seconds. He was like, oh, Fizz, but you scared? You scared, Fizz? You just not just da 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 da. You scared, Fizz? I can't believe you calling me. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? I'm like, Coach, like I'm not ready for this girl. Like, so you scared, so you know.
Right. Same coach that told you to take a knee after the girl hit you.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. But that's after he saw that I knocked this big girl out. So you feeling the same way, like you can knock anybody out, right? Well, you know, when you at that time, you know, when somebody tell you scared, oh yeah, I'm really scared. Are you crazy? I ain't scared. You understand me? So I thought about it. Now, the contract came, but it came through a fax, and I had signed a contract. Right. Knowing a little bit about contracts, your word is your bond. So I'm thinking, man, if I say no, I'm not fighting, then I probably will never ever be able to get a fight again because I don't sign this contract.
And it's like a day away.
That was my mindset, right? So I went, and the whole time I'm like, I'm just gonna go at this girl like I did the first fighter, and just give it all I got, and that's gonna be it, right? So at the weigh-in, she looking at me like, really? Like, who is this? Another, another tomato can type thing looking at me like that, right? And I kind of got offended the way she looking at me because I'm like, how you doing? What's up? Da, da, da. And she looking at me like, sorry, I was like, okay, that's disrespectful. Don't disrespect me like that, So fight time came, and boom, first round, and I jumped on her. I jumped on her like I had done lost, like she had done stole something from me. Like she had done talked about my mama or something. I jumped on her.
And you won the first round.
I beat her. The first round. Second round, I did the same thing. I jumped on her. I beat her the second round. After the second round, when I tell you I was done,
left.
I had nothing left. I was gassed. I was done. But my pride, third round came, and bim, 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 bim. It was a draw. Now, her trainer was Freddie Roach. And after I saw it, it took me a little time to go back and watch the film. But I watched the film, and he's telling her, stay away from her. She's too strong in the inside. Her face looking like, oh my God, I'm about to lose my first fight type look, right? So fourth round comes out, and I'm like, right now I'm like, I can barely like lift my arms type thing. And fourth round came, and I'm barely, and she's picking me up. Back.
Right, because she ain't tired.
Back. And you can be tired, but when you see that you're getting the best of someone, it's like energy come from nowhere. Right. You understand me? So she started picking me up. Bang, bang, bang. I go now. The fight was scheduled for 6 rounds. Now, who do you know in a second fight 6 rounds? That's another thing.
And if she only had 3 fights, she easily could have did another 4-rounder.
So, fourth round, I'm like, go back to the corner. I did not want to come back out not because she was beating me, not because she was hurting me. I was tired. Like I had nothing left. Like
it's like where you can't even barely get a breath out, let alone get up off the damn stool because you just done.
Done. But I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. You know what I'm saying? So got up, started fighting. Boom, 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 boom. She had me up against the ropes, right? I'm like this, and she swung. When she swung, I went back. The punch like here. It didn't hit here. It went here. And after it went here, I just fell over. Bam. The punch didn't land. But out of pure
You just
exhaustion,
fell out.
I just fell over. And I fall over, and the referee looks, right? And I'm looking at him. He looking at me, and I'm looking at him. He started counting. He was like, and so I got up, or whatever the case. When I tell you, she was jumping up in that ring like she had won $1 million. Like she had won $1 million. So after the fight, of course, my pride hurt. I'm thinking about it's on national TV. Everybody watching, my whole family, everything. It was crazy. But on the way to the airport, right? And she had saw me. We was at the airport. She saw me. She was getting ready to go to her gate. I'm going to my gate. And she stopped me. She said, can I, her English at that time wasn't that well. But she stopped me. She said, can I talk to you? And so she said, you're going to be good. She said, you gave me my hardest fight outside of, because she fought a man, right? In kickboxing. She told me I gave her hardest fight outside of her fighting a man. She told me that I really had her worried that she thought I was going to win that fight until, the 5th round came. And she said, you're going to be so good when you really learn how to fight. Now, mind you, I still only knew that 1-2. And then everything else that came, it was just instinct, right? And I was like, thank you. I appreciate that. And also give you a little bit more, she retired. And I was there when she retired. And she said her speech and she turned to me and she looked at me. And she said, Chevelle Hallback, I want to thank you. She said, not only did you give me my toughest fight, she said, but Clint Eastwood saw our fight. And that's when he made $1 million baby.
So why didn't he have you in the movie too?
Right. And I was like, so where's my money?
Right.
Like, but of course they didn't use my image. They didn't use my name. So whatever. But she told me that, and I was like,
but they could have,
wow.
put you in the movie. She was in it. Come on now.
Could. Right. Exactly. But that's what happened with that particular fight. And, it really it taught me a lesson. The lesson that it taught me, not saying that if I was, that I would have won the fight, but it taught me to never slack up on my training because of a victory.
Right.
Don't get the big head. You understand me? Don't never get the big head. Don't never think that you have it all, that there's somebody out there that's not for you, that might not have your number. I really believe that if I was in shape, if I was training like I did for my first fight, that fight would have been a totally different fight. It would have been a totally different fight.
And too bad you guys didn't rematch. It taught me a lesson. And too bad you guys didn't rematch.
I asked him that day when she was telling me at the airport, and I said, I want a rematch. And she told me, she said, I would never give you a rematch.
Because she knew that once you got better, you could beat her.
She told me I would never give you a rematch. And I mean, I respect her for that. You understand me? I respect her for that. But yeah, it taught me a lesson. Now, I was depressed for about like a good 2 weeks. I couldn't eat. I dropped weight like crazy. But it made me learn the business aspect of boxing. It taught me a lot about myself. You know what I'm saying? Like my family members, a lot of people was telling me you should quit. Just stop. This, that. But I showed myself how strong a person that I really am. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to allow this to stop my vision, to stop my dreams. And I took that fight, took that lesson, and I started studying. And that's when I started developing my own style, watching. Roy Jones Jr. really was mainly the only fighter, to be honest with you. Then I started watching Sugar Ray Robinson. Then I started watching Sweet Pea. Those type of guys, those type of styles. And I mean, from that fight to my next fight, totally different fighter. So in a way, like I said, I hate that it happened, but in a way, it was a good thing that it did happen.
Well, yeah. I mean, it
So
gave you that grit and determination to keep coming, but to actually hone in on your skills and learn the whole business and to do it, to be able to do it the right way next time and know what to look out
right.
for. And it really, it made you who you are. Because who knows if you
That
would have
that
still been
part.
the same fighter you are today had that not happened. Same thing Roy
Right.
told me.
That's
He
true.
said, when I had him last week, he was like, we were talking about the Olympics when he got screwed over at the Olympics, winning the gold.
Uh-huh.
And he said, he's glad that happened now, like looking back, because he said, had that not happened, I don't know if I would have became the fighter that I am today, and that I
Right.
would have been on the same path because it kind of humbled him and it just made, it made him work harder to
Right.
prove to everybody. So,
Right.
you just take it as a lesson. Let's see. We got Collins. What is the difference between Cecilia Brækhus, Melissa Hernandez, and Belinda Lara Quinte? Those are three totally different fighters.
Totally different fighters. Let's see. Let's start with Cecilia. Cecilia, when we started fighting, she came at me, right? But as soon as she felt my power, she started running the whole night. Um, it was a good fight between me and Cecilia. I touched her a lot.
But
When I mean touched her, I mean I hit her a lot. You know what I'm saying? After the fight, I'm looking like this, and she was looking like she had just been in
yeah,
a fight. A very, very sweet young lady. I always wanted to fight her again. Never got the opportunity. We used to go back and forth, about that because she was like, we can do it again, but it never happened. But it's okay. Melissa Hernandez, that's my girl. Now that fight between me and her,
man, we've talked about this many
man,
times. We've talked about this many times.
man, listen. Oh my God, that was the most fun entertainment fight because me and Melissa, we both have the same similar
Yep.
styles. Um, she's she's so slick, you know. She's a counter puncher. I'm a counter puncher. Her defense, my defense, the way she moves, it was a fun fight. And when we fought that fight, we was really, really good friends, really, really good friends. And in the beginning, she was kind of a little timid, and I'm telling her, listen, I guess, I'm fighting real hard. Listen, let's give these people a show, like fight. You know what I'm saying? Let's fight. And we fought, and then once, you went away. Where did you go? Okay, you fought. I mean, we
I don't know what
fought,
happened.
and when we fought, man, we yeah, we gave the crowd a show,
You
a
did.
show. Now, Belinda, me and Belinda as well, really, really good friends when we fought, and it was like, I don't know, it's like I've seen Melinda fight before my fight. She fought Christy Martin. A lot of people think that she won that fight with Christy Martin. And I think that when she fought Christy Martin, she lost. That really did something to
Yeah,
her
I
mentally.
agree.
You know what I'm saying? Mentally. So I got that Melissa. You know what I'm saying? And it was almost like we were sparring. You understand? It was like, and like I said, my friend, um, I didn't want to go in there and just all
Yeah,
out. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I did. I think I did my job, did enough where make sure I get the
right.
win. But I think that if I would have fought the Melinda that fought the Christy Martin, I think that would have been a totally
Yeah,
different fight.
a way more competitive for sure.
Yes, way more.
For sure. Um,
Yeah.
Women's Boxing Channel, what's up? I haven't seen you in a minute. How have you been? To Howdy Doody Duties.
What's going on, women?
Hey
Boxing
again,
champ.
Chevy. Hope you're doing well. Yes. You won your first world title 25 and a half years ago, actually.
Wow, that's what's up. And I still look the same. Look
You
at
do.
me.
Actually, you do look the same, to be honest. You really do.
I thank God. I thank God. I do. I do. I
You really
really do.
do. Nobody would be able to guess your age if they didn't actually know. He
True.
said, had you been with today's matchroom boxing stable, you'd have been undisputed without a doubt. You'd have been given the best opportunities, and they'd have pulled out all the stops. Facts.
Yeah, true. That facts. And and I mean, a lot of people, they say, man, you crazy. What you have to prove, at your age, do you really have anything left? And, I get all these things. And I tell people, age does not define.
I lost your sound. I don't know if it's just me or if it's you. Can you hear me? Yeah. Eric, can you guys hear me? Let me know in the chats or hear her. I can't hear you, but they maybe can. Eric, can you hear her? Let me know. She cut out. Okay. Do you want to do a refresh? You can't hear her? Okay. I'm gonna have her reset. Can you guys hear me? Refresh, both of us. She's frozen. You can hear me perfect? Okay, cool. I did a refresh too, but then I lost all my chat, so I don't know what questions you guys were asking now. Hold on, I'll text her to do a reset. Yes, thank you for sending me those, Eric. You're right on top of things. As soon as she comes back in, we'll get those. Hold on, I'm trying to come back in. All right, Chevy. I'm holding on. Everybody said they're waiting. She's coming back, guys. Hold on. Okay, cool. While she's gone, just to let you know, Champ is coming back. Yes, she is coming back. She's trying to reset. Ta-da!
I'm back. So what were we talking about?
Um,
Oh, yeah. So, they people always say, well, you've done it all, you have nothing else to prove, this, that, or whatever the case may be. And like I said, I tell it in everyone, age does not define me. Yes, I am older. Matter of fact, so yeah, she back. As a matter of fact, September the 3rd of this year, I'll be 52 years old. But as you can see, just how I'm looking, that's how I feel. You understand me? And I think that if you still can do it, why not? There's so much still left in me, right? And when I started, I didn't have the opportunity to fight for the WBC. Matter of fact, Chrissy Martin got a WBC, but she never fought for the WBC.
Right.
First time she was given an honorary belt, and then from there she fought for the WBC. So we didn't have the WBC, the WBO, the WBA. We didn't have all those things when I started.
Right.
We have those things now, and I'm like, I went through a lot.
Yeah.
You understand me? I went through a whole lot. I went through a lot without a promoter.
Yeah.
I was blessed to have a promoter when I fought in Savannah for like a year and a half. But after that, it was just me. Had to stay ready, getting in contact with matchmakers, befriending matchmakers to say, hey, whenever there's a spot, let me know. I'm ready. You know, fighting other people's hometowns.
Yeah.
I went through a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and for peanuts. You know,
Right.
yes, I had a couple of good paydays, but for the most part, for peanuts.
Yeah.
So now you got these ladies, they getting paid out there.
Yeah.
Understanding me, you know, in the WBC or whatnot, we can fight for those titles. I'm still capable. I'm still able
Yeah.
to do it. So why not?
Right.
Give me a little bit of that.
Right.
Understand me, you know? And at, like I said, 147, 154, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here having retired, and a lot of people would use my age as an excuse to not to fight me.
Yeah.
Come on, don't do that.
They do. As a matter of fact, because we had talked about one person that you wanted to fight for a while, who's now in a little bit of trouble from what I'm seeing. But Jessica McCaskill, and I asked on one of her lives why she wouldn't fight you, or would she fight you, and her response was, or her and Rick's response was, "What for? She's like washed up. She's old. Like, what would be the benefit for us?"
But yet, some of those same fighters will go out and get someone they know that's not on their level.
Right.
They know that it's an easy win.
Right.
You know, they know that, you know, they was handpicked because they're gonna go in there and just go right through them.
Yep.
They would fight one of those fighters.
Right.
But what's the use of fighting me because of my age? Oh, I'm washed
Right.
up. Well, if I'm washed up, then put me in retirement. Send me in retirement. Then.
Right. You could be the one to say you retired Chevelle Hallback.
Exactly. Like,
I mean, that's a good opportunity to me. Sounds like a good opportunity to me. Be the one to say that they retired somebody.
come on.
Come
I
on
didn't
now.
even know Jessica said that. Okay, Jessica.
I told you. Remember, I told you. Don't
I
remember
forgot
me
all
told me
about
when I was
that.
like, girl, I asked her why they wouldn't fight you. Man, I lost your sound again. What is happening? Can you guys hear her? Chevy, you gotta fix your signal, girl. Eric, what could it be that's making her sound go out? She needs to refresh again. You gotta refresh again, girl. No clue what could be making it do it. Just hit your refresh button. Yeah, she's gone refresh. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, she's gone silent. She's gone silent. They can't hear you. Are you on the computer? Yeah, just hit at the top. Just hit your refresh button. Like on your internet bar. There we go. All right, hold on, y'all. Yeah, close all the extra apps.
Is that good?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, let me see. Let me see. Let me close everything. Let me see. All right, everything's closed now.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah. So Jessica. Okay, Jessica.
Yeah, but she's in trouble now.
Why? What's up? Why
You haven't seen? You haven't seen?
Oh, tell me what she said about
What she said about Matchroom?
I heard about that, but she tried to come back and say, "Oh,
she made well, they made her make a public apology, but I don't know if that's the end of it."
Well, you know, I'm glad you told me that because I got a business partner, Michelle. She was on here. Michelle, you still
Michelle
on?
in here?
Is she still on? Listen. So she's fighting in Orlando. I think.
Oh. Yeah, that's where she's supposed to be fighting.
September the 23rd, right? Against some girl named Sandy from the UK. Ryan. Oh, I'll be at that fight.
Well, I think you should make. I think that you know it. Matter of fact, what's the fucking date again? Because I think I need to be at that fight too.
September the 23rd.
I'm gonna check my calendar.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna go with you if I can.
Yes, please. Hey, and if you come down, you come stay with me. You ain't gotta worry about nowhere to stay.
All right. Yeah.
September the 23rd in Orlando. So I'm glad. Oh man, I'm so glad you said.
Yeah, you need to get up there and you need to call her out.
Listen. And I hope she wins. I hope she wins.
I don't know. Women's Boxing Channel is a really big Sandy Ryan fan. He's from there. She's from there.
Oh, really? I'm sorry.
I don't know that she'll beat Sandy Ryan, to be honest.
You know what? Honestly, I've never seen Sandy fight. I really don't know too much about her or whatnot. No disrespect. But okay, all right. Well, either way,
it should be a good
even if Sandy wins, I'll fight Jessica still just for the comments that she made.
Yeah, that's what I think you should.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should. Let's see. Hold on. Did I miss any more questions? Send me ticket links. Michelle, send me ticket links. As long as Lawrence Cole ain't reffing, Sandy will win. Okay.
Gotcha. I think the ticket's gonna be on Ticketmaster if I'm not mistaken. I know the the hotel is gonna be at a resort in Orlando.
It's gonna be televised. Is it on DAZN?
It's on DAZN, but Matchroom.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta try to make that one. It's not that far of a drive. I can do it. Or I can fly. I can just fly. I think I got all your questions. If I didn't, let me know if I missed your question. But back to you. Your fighting style, though, is often described. It's definitely unique and definitely unconventional.
Yes.
Could you elaborate on how you develop the style and how it contributes to your success?
Because sparring only guys. If you can't get hit, you can't get hurt. Right?
Right.
So Nate Campbell, you know Nate.
Yeah.
Even it was a little even before Nate, but Nate Campbell helped a lot to contribute to this.
Yeah.
Me and Nate used to spar all the time. Matter of fact, I was one of his main sparring partners when he fought this one Russian guy and he beat him. Nate would knock out his mother if his mother got in the ring with him.
I will believe that. I will believe that.
He doesn't see you as male, female, amateur, whatever. If you get in the ring with him, it could be sparring, it could be play fighting. If you get in the ring with him, he's going to try to hurt you.
Yeah.
His mentality is do or die.
Yeah.
That's the way he grew up. You know what I'm saying? Boxing.
Right.
So he would drop me all the time in sparring, all the time. And I got tired of that.
Yeah.
So then I started studying. I started saying, you know what? You can't hit me. You can't hurt me.
Right. And
that's how I developed my style. I will practice counter punches. Boop, 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 move, step, slide, angles, this, that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it helped a lot.
Yeah.
It got to the point where he had some problems trying to get to me.
Yeah.
He had some problems trying to hit me, you know, and I just kept studying, practicing to the point where sometimes I'd be in the gym and I would do something on the bag and my trainer would come over, he would say something, I say, well, that's not how Roy does it. Well, that's not how Roy does it. You're not Roy Jones Jr.
Did you ever tell Roy that?
Yes, I did.
He probably loved that.
I had, like I said, I had the pleasure of working with Roy for a little minute, you know, and oh my God, he is so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
So knowledgeable, you know, and I learned a lot just for the little bit of time that I worked with him. I learned so much. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. He said he's worked with several different females, like trying to train them and stuff.
Yeah.
Holiday Resort.
That's the location the fight is going to be at in Orlando.
Yes.
In Orlando, Florida. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if the fight is still on, has anybody heard if it's been? I mean, I don't know. With what she said, I don't know if it affected the fight. We'll see. They might want to pull her. Any hard punching prospects that can punch hard like you?
Let me see.
Good question, Chuck.
Alicia Baumgartner. I sparred with her. Matter of fact, let's see. It was like I want to say maybe 3 or 4 years ago. She fought in Tampa, and I fought. I think I was like the co-main event, and she was on the undercard. And the next following week, we sparred in the gym in St. Petersburg, and we sparred. And that girl can hit. She the truth for real. She can hit. Let's see. Outside of that, I sparred with my girl Ann Wolf, but I knew Ann could hit, so I didn't stick around to allow her to hit me. Let's put it that way.
Right.
I was on the move. I was on the move, but I know Ann can hit. Let's see who else. Trying to think, who have I fought that can really hit like that? Oh man,
I can't think of nobody else.
you know what? When I fought, what's her name? Short. What's her name? I fought her for the IFBA.
Did I say her name?
You did say her name. You did say
I
her
did.
name. You did say her name.
So is that the one where you got the W band belt?
No, that was Jean Garside. As a matter of,
Hold on, I can go back up.
I fought her for the IFBA. I can't believe I can't. Dressel. No, not Brenda Dressel. No, not Brenda Dressel.
You're throwing me off.
She's short.
Which one? IFBA. The IFBA lightweight title is you got from Garside.
No, not Garside. Then it wasn't IFBA. Come on, name somebody else.
Jirakia?
Who?
Rika? Was it the
No.
lady from Japan?
No.
Mary Jo Sanders. Let's see. Miriam Lamar.
No.
Cecilia Brækhus. Melissa.
No.
Mary Jo Sanders.
No.
Bonnie Benito.
No.
Laura Serrano.
No. Come on.
Alicia Ashley. Layla
No.
McCarter. Melissa
No.
Del Val. Melissa
No.
Del Val, maybe?
No.
Mary Jo Sanders. Holly
No.
Holmes. Terry Blair.
Who?
Terry Blair.
Terry Blair. Terry Blair. Terry Blair. Yes, yes, yes. So I fought Terry Blair, and I was
gonna ask you about this one.
that was televised, and you know me, I'm a boxer. I move around, But I said I'm gonna fight this girl toe to toe, right here in the middle, and we went at it, and it was so much fun. But I don't know exactly when it happened, but it happened. She went and she said, "Boom, right here hold on, just on my left side, my rib, right? Boom." She hit me, and I felt the hit. Like, oh, that was a pretty good hit, right? But kept on fighting and went on and this and this and that, and I won the fight. But I went back in the dressing room, and I'm like trying to breathe, and every time I inhale, I will feel sharp pain in my side, and I'm like, what is going on? She fractured my ribs, and I didn't even know it. Matter of fact, right now, still my bone is still out a little bit, and it was like there's nothing that we can do. Only thing, just wrap it, and that's it. We can't really. But yeah, during the fight, other punches, other times I didn't really, she can hit.
And that was the night we met.
Like that, but she actually fractured my rib. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fight of the night. That was when we met.
It was the fight of the night. It was.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a phenomenal card. But yes, definitely fight of the night.
You fought on that card, right?
Yeah, I was on it. Yeah, that's when we met. But that was definitely fight of the night. And yes, y'all went toe to motherfucking toe all night.
Right there.
All night.
Yes. Yes.
Facts.
Yes.
Let's see. Alicia can punch. Yes, she just said fight's still on. Sandy is finishing last few days in Portugal and will fly to the USA at weekend to finish off camp to fight the 23rd. Okay, I just wasn't sure with what happened. Eddie was pretty dang pissed off. What was going to happen with it? I believe Baumgartner. Oh, so speaking of the Baumgartner thing, I guess we're going to have to ask it because I know that it's coming out here in the comments.
Right. Oh, let me before I answer that. Somebody asked me how about what my thoughts about Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano, I love her. She's the truth. Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano. I met her. As a matter of fact, she came to fight in Tampa up on the Jake Paul card, and she contacted me and she like, "Hey, Champ, I got some tickets for you." She gave me tickets, front row seat, everything. That was love. She's gonna walk you down. She's a beast. Yeah. I really, really love her style. She, to me, I mean, she's Puerto Rican, but to me, she has a Mexican style. She walks you down, you
Yeah.
know, and I really like her style, and for what I can see, look like she got some pop to her punches as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I really like Amanda Serrano.
Yeah, and she's definitely gone all different weight classes. I mean, all the way down to
Yeah,
I can't even 112 or 118 or something, like all the way up. Yeah, she's definitely done her thing for sure.
amazing. Yes,
And
amazing.
she's been fighting since I was like, she's been fighting for a long time too.
A
Like
long
when
time, and
I was,
she finally getting her just due. You know, she put in the time, the sacrifice, all of that, and I'm extremely happy for her.
yeah,
Extremely happy for her.
absolutely. The dynamic change in her physique from when she jumped suddenly from small hall fights to names like Terry Harper is startling. Yeah, you're talking about Ryan. Yeah, I'm excited to see the fight with Sandy Ryan and Jessica McCaskill. I am kind of excited to see that one, but now I'm even more excited now that I know Chevy's going to be there.
I'm gonna
We're
be
going to try to
right
set this
there.
up. We're going to
I'm
have to
gonna
make
be
this
right
happen.
there. Ah,
But though, back to you though, in only your fifth fight, like we were talking about earlier, you took on Bonnie Canino, another definitely Hall of Famer, definitely great
yes,
fighter.
yes.
Won by TKO though, capture your first world title, WIBF featherweight. Tell us about the fight and the feeling of becoming a world champion.
Oh man, how that fight came about was crazy. Me and Bonnie, I can't think of the guy name, but he was the only one putting on shows, and he was paying for at that time. You know, like the girls wasn't getting anything, but he was paying $5,000. You know, for championship fights, and so I can't remember exactly how I met Bonnie, but we met and we became real cool. And she was like, "Hey, would you come down to my gym sometimes and train and and this and that?" And I was like, "Okay, cool," because she had been started, before myself, and had just started. And
Yeah.
she was like, she wanted to show me some things and just open up her home to me. And I'm like, "That's what's up." So a week later, I get a phone call, and they couldn't find Bonnie an opponent because we're going to fight on the same card. They couldn't find Bonnie opponent. They couldn't find me opponent. So the guy was like, "Well, how about you and Bonnie fight each other?" Loyalty is everything to me, right? And I was like, "Whoa!" Even though he told me how much money it was, I wasn't even. I was like, "Whoa, me and Bonnie, we cool. Like that's my friend. Like, what are you talking about?" And I was like, "Have you talked to Bonnie about this?" He was like, "Well, I'm gonna give her a call, this and this, but I want to know how you feel about it." I was like, "You need to talk to Bonnie about that, right?" So he said, "Okay." So that thing kind of bothering me. So the next day, I called Bonnie, right? I said, "Bonnie," I said, "the guy
They
called
call-
me, huh?"
Like, did they call you?
No, no. So next day, I called Bonnie. I said, "Bonnie," I said, "this guy called me, and before I could finish my statement, she was like, 'Well, if you're gonna take the fight, I need to know because I can't have you coming down here if you're taking the fight.'" Right. That kind of rubbed me a little wrong way, and I was like, "Okay." So then she said, "Because I'm trying to help you, not hurt you."
All right.
So you call me back and you let me know.
Right. And you were just calling her to see if he had asked her about it.
So you call me back. It's funny now, we both laugh about it. And I was like, "Okay." Well, when she found out is when she saw me at the weigh-in.
Because she didn't know who the opponent was? Or you just didn't call her back to tell her?
Right. I'm gonna show you my
Okay.
I'm gonna show you my answer.
I'll see
I'm
you
not
there.
I'm gonna show you my answer. You
Yeah.
understand me?
Sign the
So I'm
paper.
gonna call the guy back and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm taking it. Yeah, I'll take the fight. I'll take it." So she had what? I don't know how many years of experience, ahead of me. And at the press conference, we had a press conference and everything, and she was like, they asked her about the fight, and she was like, "She just using me as a stepping stone, but these stones have edges, and she's gonna find out, and this, that." Right? They asked me who you think is gonna win. I like the best person of the night is gonna win. I'm not a really a trash talker. The best person of the night is gonna win, whatever. I trained my tail off. That was my first 10 rounds. I think I had only went 6 rounds prior to that. When I tell you night and day, I trained so hard. I can't stand running. I hate running. Anybody out there
You
that
and
want to
me
fight me, be
both.
like, can listen. I don't care. I hate running with a passion. My trainer would literally get in a truck and make me run and stay ahead of him. This was every night. And then twice a week, he made me run sprints and sprints and sprints and sprints. That was my weakness.
Yeah.
Being in condition was my weakness, right? But I trained my tail off for that fight. And so at the press conference, when she told me, said what she said, that just gave me more fuel. Like,
Right.
okay.
You fueling the fire.
And then to find out that Don King and all his people was going to be there, and all the big fighters at that time, Don King was signing it. Every female that you could think of, he was signing them. They were there. You understand me? And I'm like, okay. And then Don King sent someone, I don't know if it was Don King himself, but Don King Productions, this guy came to me, Bobby Goodman, I think that's his name, I'm not positively sure. And he presented me a contract. And I was like, no, I don't want to sign this. Only way I would sign that, and this was what back then, only way I would sign it if I had a guaranteed shot that I would fight Christy Martin, right?
Right.
And it was like, no, they told me, they were like, we would never allow you to fight Christy Martin. I'm like, why? No, I was like, well, no, I'm not signing that. So the guy told me, he said, so, but do you really think you're going to beat Bonnie Canino? Do you really think you're going to beat her? That's what the guy told me. And I was like, yeah. He's like, if you beat Bonnie Canino, he said, I will present you a contract and I will guarantee you a fight with Christy Martin. I said, okay, bet. All Don King people was there or whatnot, right? Me and Bonnie, we fought. And when I tell you that fight, that was an awesome fight. That was an awesome fight because I didn't get tired. I did what I wanted to do. My style, everything just came together.
Yeah.
And for them to put those belts around me, that was the greatest feeling. So that was a great fight in itself.
Yeah.
After the fight, Don King's daughter, Deborah King, came and had a contract in her hand. Wanted me to sign a contract. I said no. I said I gotta let my lawyer see this. I didn't have a lawyer. I said I gotta let my lawyer see this. But
Right.
that fight with Bonnie, it was everything. It was everything.
Well, do you think if you would have signed with Don King, you would have had more opportunities?
Nah, Don King's son, Paul King, told me out of his own mouth. He was like, "We're trying to keep you from Christy Martin. We will never let you fight Christy Martin." He told me that. And so when Christy Martin left Don King right before she was getting ready to fight Mia St. John, I was like, okay. And I was like, went public, I want to fight you. 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 And that started a whole big mess. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. But we never got a chance to fight. Me and Christy Martin
No,
never
you
got a chance to
didn't.
fight.
Have you ever met Christy? Well, you've met her at the inductions, duh. But have you ever asked her about it? Like, did she ever know you wanted to fight her?
So you don't know that story, do you?
I don't know that story. You haven't told me that
I
story.
wish you would have knew that story before you interviewed her. So
I didn't know the story. Why didn't you tell me?
I thought you knew the story.
I didn't know the damn story.
So me and you already know this part. Me and Mia St. John, we used to be really, really, really good friends.
I think until you cornered me.
Yeah, it was your fault that we're
I'm
not
so
friends to
sorry.
this day. She still will not talk to me. But anyways, when the fight was presented for her and Christy Martin to fight, she came to me. She asked me my thoughts on it. We had a conversation about it. Okay. But I was like, I really want to fight Christy. Like, I really, really want to fight Christy, right? Because, she was the biggest name at that time. So I really wanted to fight Christy. So anyways, every time a camera, a mic, interview, I don't care, was in my face, they would always ask me, what's next? I was like, well, I want to fight Christy Martin.
Yeah.
I have the highest respect for Christy. I really like Christy. Never trash talk Christy. None of that. Always said, I just want to fight her.
Yeah.
That was it. So one day, it was a Saturday. You know, Christy Martin used to live here in Orlando, and she had a amateur program.
Yeah.
And I was living in Tampa, and I had just came home from work, and I was tired. And my trainer at the time, he was in Orlando with his amateur fighter, and he called me, and I answered the phone. I said, "Hello," just like that, "Hello." He was like, "No, no, no, come back, come back. She's on the phone right now. She's on the phone right now. You tell her. No, you know, come tell her." And I hear, nah, and I'm like, "Coach, what's going on? Like, what's the problem?" Oh, Christy Martin told me to give you this message to keep her MF name out of your MF mouth. You're MFing things up for her, and that. I'm like, whoa. Tell her to get on the phone. Oh no, she won't. She won't get on the phone. She went back inside. I said, "Well, you tell her she don't have to deliver any messages to me. I'm gonna give her the opportunity to tell me herself." Right? Tired and all. Took a shower, got dressed, got in my car, and drove like an hour and 15 minutes away. I got there. I walked in, and she was at the ringside doing the little commentating, right? I walked in, I saw her, walked around. I'm sitting in the back. Matter of fact, I was sitting beside Lori Ramsey, sitting in the back. I had this look on my face like I'm all about business. Lori like, Jen, what's wrong? Nothing. So I'm just sitting there. I'm sitting there. And it's like, you know, sometimes you could feel somebody just staring at you, right?
Yeah.
She just felt somebody just staring at her. She turned around and she looked. And when she looked, I went, "Yeah, I'm here." So, you know, she did her thing, whatever the case may be. So after the fight was over, I went around to the other side of the ring so we can be facing right on.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have a conversation. Like, you got so much you need to tell me. We're gonna have this conversation, right?
Right.
So I went around the ring. So I'm standing there, and some of her friends like standing right beside me. I didn't know, family member, I don't know. So she came and she walked up to them, and I'm patiently waiting, like she talking to mine, and then she walked by me and she went like this, right? And then I stopped. I said, hold up. I said, there's something you want to tell me? I'm tired of you going around here saying that you want to fight me. You're messing things up for me. Just stop it. I don't need you. And she was going on and on and on and on. And I mean, she started out here, and then people started coming around, and then she went up to here, right?
Yeah.
I let her talk. I let her say whatever. I just let her get it all out, right? And after she paused, I went, "Are you done?" "What?" I said, "I'm going to talk about you today. I'm going to talk about you tomorrow. And I'm going to keep talking about you until you fight me." I said, "You're either going to fight me or you're going to retire." I said, "It's up to you. But I'm going to keep on talking. And you and nobody else can stop me." I said, "Now, you can't stop me by fighting me, but that's the only way you're going to stop me from talking."
Right.
So she like, she got, all right. And so by this time, because I'm kind of getting angry, so I put my hands behind my back and I'm like just holding my hands like that, right? So when she stopped, I looked at the ring. I said, "You know what? As a matter of fact, we can. I said, we can handle this right now. We can solve this right now. There's a ring right there.
Right.
At the audience, there's the ring. We can stop this right now." "Oh yeah." And then she got louder. And I just started clapping. I say, nice performance. That's a great performance. So by this time, her bodyguards, whoever gets between, I said, "We cool." I said, "I'm good. We're gonna have to ask you to leave." I said, "No problem. I'll leave." I said, "But do know this. I'm gonna continue to talk about you until you retire or you fight." And from that point on, she couldn't stand my guts. When I tell you, couldn't stand my guts, but I did see her, you know, at the
At the
last.
inductions, did you
And
guys walk?
I walked up to her. And I said, hello, Christy. And she spoke back. And I said, I think we need to talk, because she was signing autographs. I said, I think we need to talk when you finish. And she said, okay, but we never got the opportunity to talk.
Why did I not? Why did you never tell me this story? Like, I could have asked her about that when I interviewed her. Not that I can't ask her about it, because I go to the fight shows, and she has fight shows in Nashville, and I go to them. So it's not like I can't ask her, but I would have liked to have known that.
Yeah,
prior.
I thought you knew that. I'm sorry.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, because I would love to hear her. I would love to hear her, take on it. I would love to hear her take on it. Love.
I'm gonna ask her, and I want to know what she says. But so there was not, but you guys never fought. How long after that was it that she retired?
She fought Mia St. John, and I think what she was saying was, I think the buzz was getting around that I want to fight her.
Yeah. So was that the second time she fought Mia?
Huh?
Was that the second time she fought Mia?
I think it was the first time she fought Mia.
Okay, because then she had quite a few.
I thought she only fought Mia one time. She fought Mia twice?
I'm pretty sure because I think she beat her the first time and then she lost the second time.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then I think this is when she lost against Mia.
Okay, so I did ask her about that fight because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Mia St. John, and like Women's Boxing Channel said, yes, I beat Mia St. John twice. That's what we were talking about. The second time I fought Mia, when I won the WBC title from her, Chevelle is the one that came with me. Her and Nate Campbell went with me to Mexico because Chris couldn't go.
And I got stranded in Mexico trying to get back home.
Which I just found out last year, by the way, at the induction. She didn't even freaking tell me. And that was,
oh my God,
I don't know how long ago, freaking 12 years ago or some shit like that. But she went with me and cornered me for that fight. And ever since then, Mia won't speak to Chevy. And I feel really bad about that because they were like good friends. And I feel really bad, but like Chevy was my friend and I didn't have nobody to go. So I was like, Chevy, like, I need a corner person. Like, what the hell am I going to do? So she came. Yeah. But yes, I did ask her about that, about the second Mia St. John fight when she lost. And she said the fight before that, she had broke her hand. I can't remember who it was against, but she broke her hand and she had to have surgery. And while she was under for surgery, she had a stroke. And when they told her that she shouldn't, obviously she shouldn't ever fight again because like it could kill her. She got hit, it could cause another stroke, And she wanted to get her 50th win. So she took Mia, and that was also the same time she said she was going through trial with Jim Martin when he was being sentenced for trying to kill her.
She said it was against Dakota Stone that she broke her hand.
Dakota Stone. Yes, Dakota Stone. You got it. So she said she was going through the trial. She picked Mia because she thought it was a for sure 50th win. That was what she was trying to get to. And then she had the stroke while she was having surgery. And it wasn't long after that fight was. But she said her body just didn't respond.
Gotcha.
So
no, I think it's the first time they fought, if I'm not mistaken.
So maybe it was the first time. Yeah. But yeah, because I think that was her last fight, I'm pretty sure. So it probably was the first time they fought.
Yeah, it was. It was the first time they fought.
They fought twice. It was when St. John lost the second time versus Martin. It was Martin's last pro fight. Yes. Yeah, that was her last fight. So it had to have been the first one.
It was.
But there was quite a bit of time span between her first fight with Mia and the second one when her last fight that y'all could have fought.
Right. That girl didn't want to fight me. I mean, it is what it is.
But I'm going to ask her about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask her about that next time I see her. So I've talked about at least a lot on the show, robberies in boxing. I've talked about your last fight robbery. I don't know how many times on this show. Talked about it with everybody I have on the show, actually. I'm like, did you see Chevelle's fight? But on paper, technically, you have 9 losses, technically, of which we all know you didn't really lose all of those fights. Um, which tell us which ones of those fights do you honestly feel that were complete robberies or that you should have got the decision? Because people always want to know, like, which ones do you feel like was thrown?
Well, I can tell you the ones that I say that I really lost. Um, of course, I really lost against uh Lucia Rijker. I lost
Oh,
against
yeah.
her. Um, I lost against Holly Holmes the first time. Um, I lost against um Doris Hackle, and nah, I take that back. I won against Doris Hackle. I lost against uh Mary Jo Sanders.
Mary Jo Sanders.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's only like three out of the
Yeah,
9.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's what we be talking about. We always be talking about this shit about the bullshit decisions and stuff
Mhm.
and robberies. And that's why it sucked. It always sucked, like for me too, like fighting in their hometowns because it it's just never fair. It's
But
just bullshit.
honestly, I mean, I've only fought in my hometown one time, and that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Um, but outside of that, I kind of like going to other people's hometown.
Yeah, it's not fair though.
True. But going in, honestly, if you have to be honest with yourself, going in, you already know what you up against.
You do.
You know,
I mean, I don't know though. I always say my best fight though was the Mia St. John fight.
yeah, you did just
I
know.
was definitely the underdog,
Yes,
100%.
yes,
I was being booed like crazy
yes.
in the that
That just that
damn
just that
arena.
just that just that just gives fuel to me. That just brings fuel.
Yeah,
It's like,
but
okay,
then they were to switch the crowd. That was what got me.
yeah,
Like they were booing me so bad, like Mia, like the whole fight they were chanting her name, but at the end they were
you
chanting
you
mine.
you made them your fans, and that's the beauty of it. That's the
Yes,
beauty
so
of it.
that was. I get what you're saying there
That's
because
the
that
because
to me
you
that was.
really, honestly, I feel you really don't have any fans. You have like 2% fans, because as long as you winning, they all for you.
Oh
But as
yeah,
soon as you lose, you might have that
yep,
2% that's still there. But the other ones,
yep.
they're gonna talk about you.
Facts.
you you was this and you was that. You just said yesterday.
Right, right. But like what?
Right,
Like you call them up and they're like, "Who is this?
right,
What?"
right. So
Man,
I'm gonna, it's like this is how I see it. I'm gonna make your home my home.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that was the highlight of my career. I
Yeah.
mean, not just because I won the title, but the feeling of the arena was so freaking big there. I mean, it was
It
huge.
was-
And just the feeling of being booed the entire time to like the last 2 rounds, maybe. I mean, it was that feeling. You can't beat the feeling.
right,
You really can't.
right,
Um,
right. That's
Women's Boxing Channel, you were referring to Baumgartner, the dynamic change. Okay, so Chevelle, they want to know what you think of this. The Baumgartner, the dynamic change in her physique from when she jumped suddenly from small hall fights to names like Terry Harper, and the size difference. And I get what they're saying because if you go back and you look at a picture of her from 4 or 5 years ago when before she fought Terry Harper, or even maybe at the time she was muscular, but she was not ripped. There's a difference between muscular and ripped. There is a difference. Now I'm not saying that's not possible because you've always been ripped. Always. And I know you're a clean fighter, 100% hands down, no questions asked. So it is possible, y'all,
it is.
to be ripped
It is.
and not cheat or use drugs.
It-
But thoughts on it? What do you think?
Okay.
Do you think that there's a possibility?
Now that picture showing her ripped, that was at a weigh-in, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was at the weigh-ins.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Now listen.
You're dehydrated.
Exactly.
You're dried out.
Exactly.
It's almost like
Exactly.
bodybuilders.
Let me-
Like when they
Exactly.
drain their
Now
entire body.
Now let me tell you what I used to do. Like even on my Facebook page, and if I was to show you a picture, like my profile, if I show you the picture I'll show you that same picture 10 minutes prior to what you see on my page, you'd be like, what the? 9 out of 10, when I take pictures, right? I go in the weight room and I'm the weights and all the blood is, and I'm pumping, I'm all down and I take the picture.
Yeah.
You swole, you real swole.
Yeah,
And then once
because
that once that goes down, you like, what happened, right?
Right.
Now, weigh in. I got a picture where my stomach is like, yeah, and you can wash clothes on it, right? Well, that day, I could be on weight, and 9 out of 10, when I come to a fight, I'm on weight. But psychologically, I want to be like at least 2 or 3 pounds under. Yeah. So what I do is I'll go and I'll like put on a sweatsuit or put on garbage bag, and I get all the water out, and then I run on the treadmill and I get all around, and then I do about like 100 sit-ups. And then I go and I get on the scale, boom. So you see me depleted of all liquid.
Yeah.
Plus my muscles look all big because I just did all these things or whatever the case may be. So I'm looking like a But as soon as I put liquid and stuff in my system, then everything it goes back to normal. Now, I saw Alicia, like I said, we followed the same card, and then that Saturday, the next week, that Saturday, we sparred.
Yeah.
She was ripped, like she was ripped, right? And
she can't be bigger than you.
And I mean, her body looked like a bodybuilder body, right? And I'm like, dang, she tight. Like, I know she probably have to work hard. But a lot of that, especially for African Americans, it is genes. Yeah. Okay. And like I said, you add that, plus she works hard, because I've seen it with my own eyes. Plus she works hard. Plus you take pictures after you done did all these things right here. Add that all together. So I can see how that can happen, right?
Right.
You say that picture was taken this, and then it was 3 years later that this picture is taken.
Right.
She has the capability and the ability to just, all she does is train.
Yeah.
She eat properly. She got the right trainers by her side. All these things, right? So
things we didn't have.
Exactly. So yes, you can easily go from here to there.
Yeah.
So I can see that. I did see one picture where she was all but it looked like to me the picture was Photoshop. So I'm like, that don't
maybe.
I'm like, that's no. Her neck don't even look the same with her body. I seen a Photoshop picture of her where they try to overdo her, right?
Overbook it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Well, and you spar with her. I mean, the strength, is it possible for her size? She's smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, I know so.
Power doesn't have to do anything with muscles. Your muscles, your physique. Right. It's all about.
And I know that, but a lot of people don't understand that. Yes, but difference is she now has those multi-zigzag vessels popping in her biceps.
And I get it. And I get it. I get it. But look at. See if you can see. Look at my forearm. Look at that. Right.
Yeah.
Look at my jaw. I have a square jaw, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not so much taking up for her, because deep down in my heart I don't think she did. But a lot of those things that's been said about her, they once were said about me. Oh, she got to be juicing. Oh, she got to be this. She got to be, especially with my abs. Oh,
yeah.
No female abs is ripped like this. She got to be doing this. She got to be doing that. And I'm clean. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Clean. So yes, that can happen. Even like lifting weights, like me, I do a lot of neck things with the weights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All this right here is muscles. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I take wraps, I put it in my mouth, and I like this with the weights. All that is building up all of this right here. So when you get hit, you feel nothing.
Right.
So it is possible that her physique can change like that.
Yeah.
My thing is, how you take a test is negative, is positive, and it was it 3 days later?
Yeah, but now somebody was saying, I read something today that it was the original test that she supposedly like test that they said she tested clean, that something came up in it. So then they sent it off to like a special lab, which is why it took so long to come back. Now, I don't know if that's true or not,
Right.
but I read that today somewhere. So, I mean, I guess if it was the original sample she's talking about where they said it was clean, showed something, and they sent it in for further testing. I mean, I don't know. It's just the whole thing is weird to me. Because how
It's just something doesn't make sense. Now my thing is, when they're gonna test the B sample?
Right.
What's taking so long to test me? Because you got the A, and if that's come, then they supposed to
retest
automatically test. No, when you take a P test, you got the A sample and you got a B sample. If the A sample comes out dirty, then they're supposed to go right to that B sample.
Right.
Why haven't they did the B sample? What's the problem?
Right.
That's
right.
See, that's why I say so. It's
something is off.
It's not
something is
just
off.
It's not adding up. And
yeah.
It's just,
you've seen more murders at the.
That is true. I mean, that is true. I mean, you know.
I mean, yes, I get it. We will find out. I mean, eventually, the truth shall set you free,
right.
And somebody's truth is going to come out one way or another.
Right.
We'll find out eventually.
Right.
I mean, it's going to take a while, I think, because it's going to be some back and forth for a while, but eventually, we'll find out.
Right.
But over the years, you've won numerous titles, faced the best opponents there is. Which victory stands out to you the most as the most meaningful to you, and why?
Say that one more time.
Over the years, you've won numerous titles, faced best opponents. Which victories stand out to you as the most meaningful, and why?
Just like yourself, I went into a total different country when I went to Japan.
Yeah.
And, you know, going that far, you want to at least try to get there a week or at least 2 weeks before the fight. 3 days before the fight. And you know how the time is totally different.
Yep. That's like a whole day difference, like there.
So 3 days before the fight. Then when I got there, you would think that we would have somebody to meet you, right?
Nothing.
I had to walk, I think it was like 5 miles to go to the spot where the person going to pick me up and all these things. Did all of that. Got into my room and whatnot. Fight night. They said I was going to fight one time, and that one, and the times kept changing. I still had jet lag out of this world. I was in a dressing room and I went to sleep because I was tired. I was exhausted. And finally, they came back there and they said, "Hey, wake up! It's time. It's time for you to fight. It's time for you to fight." I hadn't warmed up. I was still stuff that I put on and everything, and they was rushing me. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. So I put on everything, you know, and well, I'm telling you, I was tired. And then these guys walked through and they was all dressed in white, right? I mean, every last one, about like 5 of them, they was all dressed in white, and they like had the black hair, you know, and they walked through and they looking at me like, I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
So they walk on through, right? So I got up and they was getting ready to call my name. I went, started playing my music, they called my name. So I'm walking out to the ring. I'm like still haven't fully awakened, right?
Right.
So there we are. Round 1. I'm just like there but not there. I think for like 3 rounds, I'm like, ugh. But she hit me with a good shot in that 3rd round. Kind of woke me up.
Yeah.
So for 4th round to 10th round, I was up. I was there, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't stop her. So I'm thinking, but I heard her. I really hurt her. On a couple occasions, what I'm saying, the referee looking like, should he stop?
Right.
She made it through. So when they got ready to announce the winner, I'm standing there and they got my head down like, I'm the only American there, me and my corner, right? And it was only Nate. It was just me and Nate. Ryan was there because it was for his belt. It was just me and Nate. So I'm standing there and they speaking, in their language. And then they said my name. And I'm, what? What?
Yeah, and doesn't that suck when you don't know what they're saying?
But listen, with you, everybody was like, ah! With me,
it probably was silent.
Silent. Not a peep. Silent. And then
no clap.
And then one of the guys that was all dressed in white, he stood up and he said,
and then everybody.
And when he did that, the whole auditorium, they started clapping. Oh my God, Jesus!
Yeah, kind of like the Rocky movie.
Yes.
In Russian when they were fighting. And the guy finally stood up in the end and did the clap, and then everybody started clapping.
It was exactly like, you know what? I didn't even think about that. It was exactly like that.
Yes.
So they gave me this big old trophy. They handed me the trophy, and then they put the belt around me. And then they did some type of like ceremony type thing.
That's awesome.
Baby, when I told you at first, I was like, Lord, where's my passport?
I got to get out of here. We got to go. Like right now. Somebody's gonna jump us in the parking lot.
That was an awesome feeling, like I beat her, and not in her hometown, but in her country, in her own country, and I made that country at that time my country. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's awesome. Yes, I do know what you're saying because it was the same shit. But yeah, the thing that annoyed me the most though about over there is we had to do all them freaking interviews and stuff. And they never spoke in English. I didn't have a translator. And they're asking me questions. And I'm just like, I'm looking at Nate like I have no fucking idea what they're asking me. Now, I don't understand.
Right. What I can say now, for the 3 days that I was there, I did have a translator, go around with me. But
okay.
Yeah. But
that's good because finally I went up to the guy and I was like, I need a translator. How do you expect me to answer these questions when I don't even know what they're saying? And then all the press conferences and stuff, I'm like, yep, I'm just gonna sit here and look pretty because I have no idea what's going on right now. And then I hear him say my name, and that's all I knew. But that was it. But yeah, other than that, yeah, that's awesome though.
Right.
On all the. I think we talked about that. Well, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but out of all the great fighters that you fought, who was your toughest opponent?
Let's see.
Was it Terry Blair?
That was a fun fight. I mean, we was going back and forth, but I mean, really, it wasn't like my toughest fight.
Toughest, yeah.
I'm trying to think my toughest fight. Oh, you know what? I mean, I saw Lucia Rijker. The first fight with Holly Holmes was really tough.
Okay.
In Mexico.
He just said Holly Holmes.
Yeah.
Mark.
In New Mexico, that elevation.
Yes.
When I tell you that first fight, I felt like I couldn't breathe. I'm like, what is going on? Like. And then the mix, the can't breathe with her running like a jackrabbit the whole damn fight. That girl can move. Like
you got
like that girl can move. You know what I'm saying? Like B, just stay still 1 second. Like,
Right. Like, can you just stop pedaling for 1 second?
golly, like, but she just,
Yeah.
you know, but
Man,
that
she
was
was
a
an
tough
in and out fighter her whole still.
yes,
Even in MMA.
yes, yes,
Special talent.
yes, yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely,
But
absolutely.
you feel you won the second fight though.
That's man, listen, buckle and everything. But you know what? She is so sweet. She is so sweet.
She is.
When I
Yeah.
fought under her undercard against Gina Garside, we actually trained together. That girl is a beast because she
She
runs up
is.
these mountains, right? And I'm trying to run up the mountain with her. I'm like, hey, listen, time out, time out, time out. I'll see you when you get back down here.
Right. I'm gonna wait
Like
here.
she put in the work to be able to move the way she moves. Not
Yes.
only that, running up
Especially
and
with
down
the
the mountain,
altitude.
she do aerobics and all these things.
Yes. And the altitude there,
Yes, the
you know you
altitude is
got an
crazy.
extra condition. Man. Yeah. She
Yes,
do. She deserve it all. She do.
yes, yes.
Um, looking back on your magnificent journey though, is there a piece of advice you wish you could have given yourself when you first started boxing?
Oh man, let me see. Consistency and patience. Consistency. Sometimes, like I was telling you, I'm like, man, the fight's not coming, and I just be like, bump it. You know, um, not going to the gym like I should
Yeah.
because you wait so long for a fight to come.
Yeah. You just lose
That's
motivation.
that's the consistent part. The patient part is when I hadn't fought for like I think 2 years. Um, I just and the Holly Holmes fight was offered to me because I hadn't fought in 2 years. I just jumped on it the first fight. I just jumped on it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, going into Mexico like I did, and being out of the ring for 2 years to jump on a fight like that, it was a world title fight. That's a no.
Right.
You got to have patience. You know what I'm saying? You can't just jump at the first thing that they offer you.
Right.
You have to have patience. The fights will come. Just stay ready. Stay
Right.
consistent.
Right.
In your training. Stay consistent. What you're eating. Stay consistent because have patience. The fight will come.
Yeah.
Don't rush it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good advice, though. Good advice. Everybody listening, that's great advice. Listen, listen. Women's Boxing Channel says, love Cecilia, but not convinced she really woke up with the flu versus the first scheduled Terry Harper fight the other month. Strange pullout. Great to see us back on now, though. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird, too. But to be honest, you don't know when the flu's coming. And I mean, I thought it was a little fishy too. Don't get me wrong. I think me and Chevy talked about that when it happened. But it is possible. You could wake up sick as a dog puking, and I mean there ain't nothing you can do about it. I mean, so it's possible. It can happen.
It
I mean,
can't happen.
it
Y'all
can.
still representing the Bucks. Y'all see football season.
It is football season. Um, and so we had two common opponents. Now that I mean, I knew of the one. I didn't never know you fought Alicia Ashley.
Oh yeah.
Um, that was the fight I had went down to 122, and I struggled extremely hard to make weight, and I
She
was
came up. She came up. I think 135. She came up to 135 to fight me. Um, she's smooth.
yeah
I ain't gonna lie. If it wasn't because of my power, she would have beat me.
yeah
Her movement, her movement is just. It's like she used to be a ballerina, and it's like she's
yes
dancing in that ring. Like she's
literally
literally dancing.
literally
And I had to. I caught her. I caught her clean. A couple of times that slowed her down, that stopped her.
yeah
And then at the end, I just went on in and did my thing. But other than that, smooth, and a great counterpuncher. Great counterpuncher. Yeah.
definitely yeah I was drained for that fight. Definitely shouldn't. I would, and I did it one time, and I would never go down again that low. It was extremely hard to do. But another one, our other common opponent, Janine Garside, and I remember calling you when you took this fight, and I said, beat her ass for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, a lot of people thought Gina was gonna beat me. They
I
thought she
know.
was stronger than me.
I never had a freaking doubt in my mind that you weren't going to beat the shit out of her. But everybody knows, I've talked about it many times on this fight, about the bullshit that went on in that fight between me and Janine, and then
Yeah.
her never rematching me. She should have been disqualified, but I was so happy when I saw in the headline Chevelle Hallback versus Janine Garside. I was like, oh yeah, and I called her. I was like, you beat her ass, and you did. That was another common opponent, but you made that one easy. It was an easy victory for you. IFBA lightweight world title. It was in 2008, but you also in that fight got the history's first ever WBAN championship belt.
Yeah.
Talk
That
to
is,
us a little bit about that fight, what that victory meant to you, and then securing that first, even though it's not like a ranked belt, but WBAN is
man, but
like,
that belt
that's everything.
to me is like a WBC belt to somebody else. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Me and Sue, Sue gave me so much publicity.
yeah,
You know, she gave me so much love. And when that belt was presented, when she said, "Hey, you're gonna be one of the first to fight for the belt," I was like, "Are you serious?" So
yeah,
much love, you know what I'm saying? And just to have that red and black wrap around my waist, I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you know, she's supposed to be biased, but she, man, looked like she was like cheering me, and like you can see her face, like, and it felt so good, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because me and Sue are really, really cool. She's always been nice to me, always supported me from the
Yes.
beginning. You know what I'm saying? And that meant the world to me, that to win that belt.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was so happy. I was
So I
like,
got a question for me. Question for Chevy.
question for Chevy. What's the question, Women's Boxing Channel? Oh, she addressed the camera with full makeup on, though. Yeah, with the flu. I don't know. I'm just glad. I mean, it's happening now, so we'll see what happens. What's your question? Shoot it out there. You know I will read it, Women's Boxing Channel. I got you. Um, your fighting career, though, we talked about it, has spanned multiple decades.
Yeah.
Continue to compete well into your 50s. How do you attribute your longevity in the sport to your success in some of your best fights?
How do I contribute my longevity?
Yep.
Don't get hit.
I got hit all the time.
But I don't like to get hit. Listen.
No, I don't
Listen,
like to get hit either. I just didn't have the
baby.
damn defense like you.
Listen.
I'm a
Hey,
Mike Tyson.
sparring with men that didn't care nothing about me being a female taught me that. Don't get
Hey,
hit.
I mean, we
Don't-
sparred together. We sparred once. We sparred
yeah,
in
you was
Cali,
good.
but
Yeah, you know you can hit. Now you can hit too.
I can hit.
Somebody asked the question. You can hit. You really can hit.
Man, I appreciate
I don't
that.
know. I forgot all about that when you spar. Yes, you can hit. Yes, ma'am.
You never told me that.
Yes, ma'am. You can hit. You got some pop. Hey, you hit me one time good clean. I said, well, I gotta stay away from her. We were sparring. I was like, oh, yeah, I gotta stay away from that.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's awesome. I know
You
you
can
never
hit.
told me that
Yes,
before. Man,
ma'am.
you just
You
made
got
my shit go way
yes,
up.
ma'am. You can
And
hit. You
Chevelle
really
Hallback
can
says
hit.
I hit hard, y'all.
You do.
Said I hit
And I'm
hard.
not just saying that because you my sis. You can. You really can. You
Man,
can
I
hit.
appreciate that.
You
Yeah,
can hit.
that was like a highlight of my career too.
You
Well,
can hit.
meeting you and then sparring with you. I was so fucking nervous to spar with you. That's probably because I was like, I gotta hit her at least once.
Oh, she said, how do you feel about that? Is what it is. Did it need to get okay. Not the okay.
How come your
How
fight
come
with
was
Melissa Del Valle was
declared no
declared
contest?
no contest?
Okay, so I think it happened in the I think it did
Third
happen in the
round?
third round. In the third round, what happened? It was like a freak accident. We're
Yeah, you gotta
fighting.
go 4 rounds.
Yeah, we're fighting. Yeah, you got to go 4 rounds. We're fighting, and she was coming in, and I went back in the draw to throw a punch. But as I'm throwing a punch, I'm coming in. and I guess I lay with my head, and she's coming in, and it hit her lip. And when it hit her lip, her whole lip split in half, and blood just skirted out, just like that. And they automatically they stopped the fight. But that's why it was a no contest, because it didn't go 4 rounds.
Yes, yes, it has to go 4
It has
rounds.
to go at least 4 rounds. Yeah.
I learned that the hard way with my fight in, I don't even know where it was at. Maybe California. I think it was in California. But yeah, I had a fight get stopped from a cut. I was winning the whole fight, and he should have stopped the fight. I don't know why he didn't stop the fight. And that was the fight that was on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. That's why I was so upset. But yeah, they stopped it because she had got a cut. Fight should have been stopped any damn way, but they didn't. And then in between rounds, they stopped it. But they ruled it a draw. That's what pissed me off. It wasn't even ruled a no contest or whatever. It was ruled a draw there. That was their rules. If you didn't complete the rounds there, it was considered a draw. So I have a draw on my record for that fight, but it is what it is. Roy and I talked though a lot about how he doesn't understand how some people take away from like his legacy, because he ended up fighting when he went back down in weight, and then he stayed and he lost to Tarver the first time. He said after he came back down and won the title, he should have retired, because he had already made history, and and then he came back down and won the title. But regardless, he kept fighting, and how he doesn't understand how just because he did that and then ended up fighting past his prime and had some losses, why people like think that tarnished his legacy, and like how that like took his place away in his legacy. People do that all the time. We've talked about that before. What is your thoughts on that? And do you feel like people have done that to you? I mean, I don't think so, but do you feel like
No, it hasn't happened to me. I think with Roy, one thing for certain too, for sure, is that no one can never take away what you've accomplished.
Yeah, he thinks that should only be based on your prime. Like all the things you accomplish in your prime should outshine what you
No
do.
one can no one can never take away your accomplishments and the things that you have accomplished. That no one can ever take that away from you.
Right.
But at the same time, it depends on what you do determines how people look at you.
Yeah.
Okay. They can't take away his accomplishments, no.
Right.
But for you to be like here, and then at the end of your career, the way you pretty much ended your career, now people looking at you a little differently. Like, come on, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hurt in my heart to know this man over there in Russia, and he's getting beat. Not only getting beat, he's getting knocked out. It's like you're making yourself look bad. Like, why go out that way?
Right.
You understand? The way the fight with, he won the first fight with Tarver. It was the second fight. Even with that fight, if you look at the fight, Tarver closed his eyes and threw the punch.
Yes, it was
you
a
know
lot
what I'm
of fun.
saying? I mean, it's like, okay, that happened, but that in itself didn't tarnish his legacy, or didn't tarnish, that didn't do it. You going over there, you fighting all these fights, and you getting knocked out, and every time you somebody talking about Roy, they're saying, "Oh, Roy lost the fight. Oh, Roy got knocked out. Oh, Roy, come on,
Yeah. I feel you. I get it. I always ask everybody this question about all the BS that we have to deal with as women in the sport of boxing. I already about wet myself laughing so hard about some of the things you told me about that you had to go through. Is there any other hilarious or things that you had to do that you shouldn't have had to do? Or is that that tops them all? I mean, that is literally on the top of my list. That's the funniest shit I have ever heard out of all the stuff we go through.
No.
No.
You know what? After the Lucia Rijker fight, I had a strings of wins, and some of those wins is by knockout, right?
Yeah.
Then after that, I couldn't get any fights. I was literally told, you can't get any fights now because you keep knocking people out.
Well, Christy Martin was knocking everybody out, so what's the difference?
And I'm like, will you tell a dude that?
Right.
Like, what you mean? That's what's not what I'm supposed
I
to
mean, isn't
do.
that what they want you to do? People
You know
want
what
to
I'm
see
saying?
knockouts.
You know, and then and then a lot. There's a couple of fights, where I felt that I won, but I held back a little bit, and it went against me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
that, and I mean the fact that you're like literally one of the most feared females in the game, it causes you to have so many layoffs. Not because you want layoffs, but because
right.
nobody will fight you. And that's not just as you're older now. I mean, that's
That's been
been
my whole damn
your
career.
entire damn career.
And I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like, I would never say that I'm not good. Of course, I feel that I'm good. I feel that I'm special. I feel like I'm a special fighter.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that I'm all of that. Where I should be feared.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. But yeah, I mean, it's been like that your whole career. This isn't something new. I mean, you've had layoffs your entire career because
So,
people
my
you couldn't go
entire
fight.
career. And then people are like, "Oh, you came out of retirement." I didn't retire.
I have never been retired. Speaking of that, you're still fighting at the age
I'm
of
still fighting.
51. Still fighting. Got robbed on the last one. But what I need to know is who are you calling out? Who is it that you want? Who do you want to fight or call out before retirement? I mean, there's got to be a list of people that you're like, I want this one, and this one before I'm done.
Okay, let's see. Um, at 147, I want Natasha
Okay.
Jonas.
That's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Natasha Jonas. Um, Now we can add Jessica to that
But you
list.
been calling her
You
out
add
before.
Jessica. You can add Jessica. Definitely add Jessica to that list. I always said I want to rematch with Cecilia Brackets. I mean,
Yep.
I'm not as adamant about it now because it's been such a long time, but I would still love a
Yep.
rematch with Cecilia
Yep.
Brackets. I'm gonna say this, and I've said it in the past when I first started saying it because I was a little more active then. But because I'm not active now, I don't want no one to say, "Oh, I'm just saying it the ride their coattail," or I'm saying it just to get publicity, or I'm saying it just to get views, or I'm just saying it just to be saying it to draw attention to myself. And that's why I haven't been saying it lately.
I know.
But because you
I mean, I'm
asked the
asking a question, and you ain't gonna lie to me.
because you asked the question, okay, who I want to fight before I retire, and hopefully it can be done at 154. It's Clarissa Shields.
The one and only.
She says a lot of people says that no one wants to fight her and this and this and this and that. I don't care anything about but you old and this and this and this and that. I would love to fight Clarissa Shields. There you have it.
I love it.
She knows this.
You know.
I've said it. We've gone back and forth on Twitter. And one thing for certain, anytime anybody has asked her about any fighter, she has never mentioned my name.
No, I never heard of
And
it.
I've told her on Twitter some years ago, I said, listen, we was going back and forth. She used to call me an OG. I said, yeah, I am an OG.
Yep.
I like that. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, that she would beat me or whatever. And I said, girl, a fight between me and you would be like a fight between Mayweather and Canelo, and I definitely wouldn't be Canelo. And I told her, I said, but you have the power to be, you can make it happen. Just make it happen.
She can make any fight she wants.
And she blocked me. She blocked.
Well, tell her. I mean, give us some insights. Like, break it down for us. What do you think? I mean, stoppage, decision. What you gonna do? You think you can stop her? I mean, we all.
It would be a
Yeah.
challenge. It would be a challenge to
Okay.
stop her. Can she be stopped? Almost definitely. She can
Yeah.
be stopped. Can I stop her? I have the capability of stopping her. But I think it would be a challenge. But I would definitely beat the brakes off of her. Definitely beat the brakes out of her. What about a fight with Green? No. I ain't ashamed to say it. I ain't scared of nobody. But a fight with Green, no. I wouldn't want to fight Green. That Green, number one, she's a big girl. She's a big girl and she's special.
She's fighting at what is
Green
she
is special.
fighting
She,
at now?
I mean, you know, she didn't look like what people thought that she should have looked like in her last fight, or whatever the case may be. And sometimes we know we have bad fights, and sometimes a person that you think that you might walk through, they'll step up to the challenge, they'll step up to the plate, they'll show you a different person just because everybody feels that they're gonna be stopped, or everybody feel that they're gonna lose.
Exactly.
You know, they something inside of them comes out like, I'm okay. I don't have nothing to lose, but I'm gonna show you.
Exactly.
You know,
what is she fighting
I'm
at
just
now?
not no pushover.
Yeah.
Green. I think she fighting either 158 or 160.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think she's a little bit heavier.
Yeah, she's real heavy. She's real heavy.
Stop her.
Stop her. Michelle said stop her. You're talking about Clarissa Shields. Stop her. Okay. But yeah, man, I would love to fight Clarissa Shields.
I would love to see that fight happen for you before you die.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have anything against her. I respect her, all the accomplishments that she has, you know, was able to accomplish. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? She did it with the first Olympics. She did her thing. Second Olympics, she did her thing.
Yeah.
You know, she got a team behind her. You know what I'm saying? To be able to make things happen for her, and that's what's up. You know, and I applaud her for that. You know, but she's an athlete. I'm an athlete. She's a competitor. I'm a competitor. You know, I want to be the best at whatever I do. And in order to be the best, sometimes you have to fight the best. And right now they say she's the best. So let's get it on.
I mean, you got to fight the best. That's who's the best right now.
Right.
So we got to make that happen.
Right. And people, you know, people think that they think that it's disrespectful when a person calls you out. Why?
That's boxing.
I mean, if no one will ever call you out, no one will ever want to fight you, then you don't fight. Then what you doing?
How are you supposed to know somebody?
Prime example, me.
How you gonna know if I want to fight you if I don't call you out?
Right.
I'm just gonna sit here and wait, and hope that you call. That's not happening. So you got to make a buzz. You got to let people know.
Yeah. No disrespect anything. I'm just like, hey. I think she's an amazing athlete. Let's be amazing together.
She's just 160 plus, 2 divisions higher. Yeah, she's a little too big. Green. Yeah, she's a little too big. Yeah. Chevy don't need to go that high.
I ain't trying to play with those big girls like that. Even though Clarissa's big, but I know she can come down to 154.
Yes, she can. 100%. Clarissa, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. You've always said, though, music plays a significant role in your preparation and for fights. Tell us a little bit about that and why.
Oh, man. Music gives me life. I like all type of genres of music. I definitely love gospel. It's just a feel of gospel. It just empowers me.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing that I can't do. You know what I'm saying? With the help of Christ, there's nothing that I can't do. You know what I'm saying? And it just it motivates me. It uplifts me. It just really, really makes me feel good. So I love gospel music. I also like to listen to R&B. You know, old school.
Yeah, me too.
You know, and it's like, I'm not even talking about the fast. I mean, like the slow music.
Yeah.
You know, R&B, it's just relaxing. I like to listen to jazz. You know what I'm saying? I like to listen to country music. Country music tells a story.
Yes.
So I like to listen to soft rock. You know what I'm saying? The lyrics even to soft rock sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like to listen to music that has a meaning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I put what I'm trying to do, my goals and my desires, I relate it to what I'm listening to. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And it just helped me go harder, motivates me to keep going, no matter what comes in my way. Just keep going, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
love that.
and boxing is a dance. It's all
It
about rhythm.
is.
It's all
Yeah.
about rhythm. You know,
I
so
know
that's how
that.
I listen to it.
I mean, you can dance. I wasn't really much of a dancer, but I mean, it is when you master that side of it. I just never mastered that side.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Michelle says Chevy can stop Natasha, Jessica, and Clarissa.
Okay, okay, most definitely.
Most definitely.
Okay.
All right. Your legacy though as a boxing icon is firmly established. Nothing can take that away from you. But what do you hope to be remembered for most?
Um, she didn't let anything stop her, not even age.
You got that in the bag.
You know what I'm saying? Not even age. The naysayers, age. She didn't let anything stop her.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? She saw it, saw the vision. I felt it. I worked on it. I worked for it, and I did it.
you did it. Facts. Women's Boxing Channel says, I love Coldplay lyrics and Jason Mraz.
Yes.
Yes. In addition to boxing, though, for a second, you also played another one of my favorite sports, football.
Football. Yeah.
Professional American tackle football.
Yes. I was running back
Tell
and
us
linebacker.
about your time on the football field and what that was like.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I like the football better. I like the boxing.
Get out of here.
But at the time, football, then it wasn't paying any money.
Yeah.
But I was doing it at the same time, and I played running back and I also played linebacker. I love linebacker. I just love tackling people. When I tackle, I used to pick them up and just slam them. I know that sounds kind of cold, but yeah. But as a running back, I was going sidestepping. I was going through the one hole, and one of the offensive layer was coming and hit my knee. Boom. And I just kept moving my leg like, oh Lord, please don't let my knee be broke. Please don't let my knee be messed up.
Right.
But like I said, I was doing both, and I knew then that I had to make a choice
Right.
because I couldn't continue to box
And
and
get an
play football
injury.
too and get
Get hurt.
hurt.
Yeah.
Right, take the chance of getting hurt.
I
So
got
that's why I stopped playing football. But yeah, I love football. Love
man.
football.
Yeah. Yeah. I dislocated my shoulder really bad. I'm not playing competitive football, but just playing football with the
Yeah,
guys. Um, yeah, it was a nasty tackle. Nasty
yeah.
tackle. I didn't even see him coming. But hey, it happens. Well, speaking of slamming people, though, you've also dabbed in MMA. Tell us about the transition back and forth between MMA and boxing. And did you really like MMA? I tried it,
Oh
and I just
man.
could not.
Um,
I
there was
could not
this
get off me. Just get off me.
there was this organization called UFC here in Tampa, Florida, and they was fairly new. They went far, but I hadn't fought. I couldn't get no fights, and I wanted to do something just to stay active. And so the guy at the time, John Prescott, he was like, "Hey, try MMA. I know you would do well. This and this and this and that." And dude actually paid me to do it. Right. Um, I'm not passionate enough about the ground. Not
Yeah.
passionate enough about jiu-jitsu, and you
Right.
have to learn that to get in
Yeah.
that cage. You
You do.
have to learn that, and it's like
I
I
could.
wasn't passionate enough about it. And so my first fight, I won. Um, beating the girl up, standing up, beat her up. You know what I'm saying? Um, it was a great fight. But my second fight, I was beating the girl up. I was doing very well and got cocky, and I was like, I'm gonna take her to the ground. I picked her up and slammed her and took her to the ground, and she reached up and brought me on down with her. Put me in the triangle. And I just went on ahead and tapped on out because I wasn't going to let her choke me out in front of millions of people. There was a
Right.
lot of people there. And that was the end of my MMA career. I was like, yeah, nah, that's not for me.
No. I tried it, man. Back. Yeah, I tried it back when like literally the only name was Gina Carano.
Yeah.
And a coach came and was like, "You got to try and do MMA. Like you can make it big." Man, I trained for like a month, and I could not. The ground. the training for the ground, and like every time, and then like they always just want to grab you, and I'm like, get the fuck off, get off of me. Like I don't want you holding me. I could, yeah. I was like, this is not for me. I can't. I can't.
Right. Yeah, it was just too much. But I like the training, like the conditioning part of it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great, great, great. But yeah, and I respect those guys. You know, some people
Yeah, I do
think we
too.
on the ground just rolling around. Nah,
Man, they used to
it's
do them
a
little.
lot
You
of
used to go
technique. A lot
down
of
like
technique.
when you're like running across the floor, and you got to go down on one knee and then to the other knee and then the other knee. And I was like, this sucks.
And trying to get out, and oh yeah,
This sucks.
I know the basics or whatever the case
Yeah,
may be. But
I got you.
like I said, whenever I do something, I want to be the best at it. And I
Right.
know I couldn't be the best at MMA because I wasn't passionate enough to learn the ground. So
Right. I
yeah.
got you. My daughter's texted me. She's cracking me up. What advice would you give to young aspiring girls out there that really want to make their mark in the sport of boxing?
Um, First of all, you have to believe in yourself. Boxing, the sport and the business is just dirty, just nasty, just
Nasty.
ugh. But you have to believe in yourself that you can do it. Number one, and number two, you got to train your tail off. There's
Yeah.
no shortcuts in boxing.
No, it's
I
not a
tell
game.
people all the time that we have to bleed sometimes for us, you know, and
Yeah.
you step in between those ropes, it's not guaranteed that you can step out. So you have to prepare yourself at all costs for each and everything. And if you're going to go half-hearted with it, don't do it. Boxing is not for the weak.
No.
We don't play, we fight. It's very physical. It's a hurt game. And you have to have it here, and you have to work hard.
Very.
Very.
Women's Boxing Channel, I appreciate you for hanging in so long. I know the time over there is different. It's almost 4 a.m. there.
Wow, where are they in London, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So I appreciate you for coming on. So tired now. Chevy Brooke has been emotional. Loved it. Blessings and take care. I appreciate you, Women's Boxing
Thank
Channel. It
you,
was
thank
great to
you.
see you again.
Tell Natasha Jonas I'm still waiting.
Oh yeah, let Natasha know Chevy's coming, and we need to make that happen.
Yeah, hey, and you know they've been giving the excuse because of my age I can't get a license in London. Well, found a loophole. There's a such thing called a foreign license, where I'm a foreign, as long as I'm licensed in the United States, that I can do the application and get a license, or temporary license to fight in the UK. So tell Jonas, no more excuses. I'm waiting.
No excuses, Natasha Jonas. She can get her license.
I
Let's
can.
get it on. Let's do it. I appreciate the Women's Boxing Channel. It's been a minute. I'll see you next time. Um, he had me confused now. You've been also involved though, acting roles, and you have made your own films.
Yeah,
Tell everybody a little bit about that because most people don't know that about you.
yeah. I love writing scripts. I did a short movie called.
He said Jonas Bonus.
I did a short movie. It's called Chevelle Hallback's Papa Was a Rolling Stone.
Yep.
It's on YouTube. It's only 17 minutes long. That was my first project.
Good
Loved
night.
it, loved it, loved it, loved it. Good night. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I was very happy about what I did. You know, I got some awards for it. Film festivals, won a couple of film festivals. Um, but yeah, so now I'm working on another feature. I'm working on a feature movie. It's gonna be called The Gift, and so I'm working on that. And I want to also try my hand maybe like a TV series or whatnot. But
Nice.
right, but I'm currently in school. It's called Full Sail. It's a film and production school. So I'm currently going to school online. I'm doing well. I got an A so far in my classes.
Straight
Um,
A's.
yeah, so I'm passionate about that, and I really really want to pursue that. I am pursuing it, and hope to be great at it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that for sure. I can't wait. So you keep me in the loop and let me know what's going on. Tyson Fury doesn't have a British license.
Yeah, but
Thank you, Tony.
he did apply. He did apply for the foreign license. I just read that, so I think he's waiting on that. But they did deny him a license in London, and now he's applying for a foreign license stating that he resides. I think in, I don't know if Vegas or whatever, wherever he said he's residing at, and just gonna apply for a foreign license.
Facts. Thank you, Tony, for throwing that out there. Straight facts, though.
What's
Not
up,
too long,
Tony?
what? Yes, thank you, Tony. Not too long ago, though, you broke another record, Florida State record, in the 50 to 59-year-old 165 or
Oh
160
yeah,
class
bench press
for bench
and
press
deadlift.
deadlift. How exciting was that? Tell us a little bit about that.
Man. I at one time when I was in my teenager years, I wanted to be a bodybuilder, right?
Yep.
But they had to go through too much. But when I used to work out in the gym, I used to lift weights with all the guys, right?
Yeah.
And the bench press fascinated me. I used to see those guys lifting all the way. I'm like, man, I want to do that. And at one time, I couldn't even lift the bar, right? And I went all the way up to where I could lift the 45 plates on each side. I mean, this when I was younger, built my way up to that, and I was like, okay. And then I built my way up to doing like 50 dips with the weights, hanging around me and stuff like that. So bodybuilding, I was done with that. I didn't want to do that anymore. But then I used to see the guys do the powerlifting.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I think I'm pretty strong. I think I want to get
I can
into
do
that.
that.
So just 2 years ago, I was in the gym training and hitting the bench press, and I went all the way up to. Excuse me. At the time, I had went all the way up to 165. And so the guy was watching me. He was like, "You're pretty strong. You ever thought about powerlifting?" I'm like, "Yeah, this, that." He's like, "I can train you." I'm like, "Okay," and he did. And I went all the way up to like 205 in the bench press, and then deadlift. I was like, I always was scared of it. I don't know why. I would see people doing it. I'm like, ah. And so one day I just started doing it, and I just kept putting weight on it, kept putting weight on it, kept putting weight on it. And I'm like, okay. And when I went up to like 300, so I did. I think the record was like the bench press. I think was 2 something, and then with the deadlift, I think it was like 319 or something like that. So that was exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. Just breaking records all around.
Yes.
Well, it's definitely clear that you can do anything for sure that you put your mind to. You got the will, determination to succeed in everything that you do. I'm super excited I'm super excited to see these fights that we were talking about. Jonas, Shields. Let's do this. I'm super excited for that. But I'm also excited to the movie, the writing, like the scripts, all of that stuff. Like, I'm super excited. I know you'll be fabulous at that too.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Is there anything that we didn't discuss that you want the world to know?
Well, I have a business partner, Michelle, so we'll be doing some things in the future.
Michelle in the comments.
Yes, I don't want to speak on it, too fast. It's in the works. But as soon as I can speak on it, I will. But we're gonna be doing some things in the near future. So.
Okay, well, you better just send me a text and let me know.
Awesome.
I don't like being the last to know things. Like,
okay, I promise you won't be the last to know.
Christy Martin thing and like all this good stuff. Like, I don't even know. Lord Jesus. Here's another one, y'all. That when Chevelle went with me to Mexico to fight Mia, and then wasn't friends with Mia no more. I'm sorry, Mia St. John. Like, you could still be cool with Chevy. Like, I apologize. Like, she was my girl. Like, I needed somebody. I didn't have nobody to go. No hard feelings. But she just told me last year at the inductions when I got inducted to the Hall of Fame that she got stranded in Mexico.
Got stranded in Mexico.
Never told me that. And that was in 2009.
Yes.
So that was 20. How long ago was that? 14 years ago? Something like that?
Something like that.
She just told me about that. Right now. So she tell them the story.
Okay. So, oh man. So after the fight, we had a great time. And so Brooke live in Chicago. I live in Florida. So to get to the airport, it was a 4 hour drive from
Yeah.
where the fight was at, where our hotel was at. So we had to drive 4 hours. They drove us 4 hours to get to the hotel. So I mean to the airport. So we get to the airport and we embrace. Okay, she
Yeah.
went her way. I went my way.
Yep.
Now coming into Mexico, they gave you this white strip piece of paper, and it says you have to have this piece of paper in order to get back on the plane. It tells you that there on the big sign and all these things, right? So okay, so after the fight, we went to this party, and when we got back to the hotel, I don't think we went to sleep. We was like, oh my god, we got to get our stuff together so we don't miss the car to go to the airport. So I'm rushing, putting all the stuff together. Forgot all about the little strip piece of paper. So when I get to the airport, I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for them to call my plane and called and everything. So I get up and I show him my passport. And so the guy was like, okay, and he was in Spanish, asking me about the white paper. I'm like, sir, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. What paper? And he was like, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So he's like, well, I couldn't get on the plane without it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, here's my passport. Like, you see my passport.
Right.
I couldn't get on the plane. So he called for them to bring my luggage off the plane. So they brought my luggage off the plane. They brought it up where I was at. And so I'm going through my luggage and I'm shaking everything. And so the paper fall out, but it was just a piece of the paper, not the whole thing. And then he was like, and I was like, okay, I don't know what the other part, but you see that I have this. Can I get on the plane? Could not get on the plane. So I'm not a type of person that like really panic. I kind of keeps it together. It's like, okay, what's next? So he said I had to see I had to go to the embassy. This was on a what, Sunday? Yeah.
Sunday.
Had
Was that
the next
Sunday?
day was that Sunday. I had to go to the embassy. So he was like, well, go downstairs somewhere to go at to go talk to whomever. So I went down there and I'm talking to the guys, and they was like, yeah, you gotta go see the embassy, go to the whatever. Okay, where is that at? How do I get there? This and this and this and that. Oh, they don't open until Monday.
Right.
I'm like, Monday. I'm like, listen, I'm not from here. The people that brought me here, they're gone. It took me 4 hours to
Yeah.
get here. I said, I don't have any family here, nothing. So what do I supposed to do to Monday? Where do I go? Right? So they were trying to tell me I could take the cab to get a hotel and this and that and all these things. I'm like, oh my God. So then the guy was like, or you could take the bus to Texas, and all I needed was my passport. I didn't have to have that. I'm like,
Piece of
piece of
paper.
paper. Fine. Where do I catch the bus? So he's telling me, trying to so there's nothing in English. He was the only person that was speaking English. And so I go out and I try to find this bus. I don't know how I found it, but no, I said nobody but Jesus. Find the bus. I get on the bus. The man looking at me like, who are you? And where did you go?
Why are you here?
Why are you? So I said, I'm trying to explain to him, and he's like, he doesn't speak any English. I don't speak any
No,
Spanish. So I'm like, America, me, you,
please.
America. He's like, ah. So he took me to the bus station. I get off the bus. Matter of fact, only money that I had left was the money that Brooke had paid me. So I had to buy a ticket to Texas, right? I'm on the bus with all the workers, the migrant workers or whatnot. So I'm on the bus with them going to Texas. So I'm happy. I'm on the bus. I sit by this guy. He looks at me. I look at him. I say, "Hey, how you doing?" He looked and rolled his eyes and turned his back. I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So we ride and I fall asleep. Next thing you know, the bus stops. When the bus stops, It's in these woods, and it's just a shack, and like an old shack there in the woods where the bus stopped at. So I'm looking, and the people look like they're in the army. They got these guns, and they walking on the bus, right? And as they come on the bus, I guess they was asking for people card to make sure that they was on there legally to go to the United States to work. I'm assuming.
Right.
So he's looking at everybody's card. Okay, so they come to me, and he like, oh, like type, and I'm like, oh, my passport. Pull my passport out. So he looks at the passport and he was like, I'm like, what? This man did the same thing the man in the airport did. He went, piece of paper. I said, oh no. I said, this man does not speak any English. And I'm just going on. I said, no. The man told me at the airport, all I needed was my passport. I didn't need any piece of paper. So no, I don't have a piece of paper. I just have my passport. This man motioned me to get off the bus. Told me to get off the bus. And there was another guy with the camera. And I looked at him, and then I looked at the window of the bus, and all I see was woods and a shack. I looked back at him. I said, no, sir. I am not getting off this bus. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say. You're going to have to drag me off this bus. I am not getting off this bus, right? So he's just
in the middle of nowhere.
I'm not getting off this bus. And so the lady beside me, she turned, she looked at me, she said, baby, what's wrong? I said, thank you, Jesus.
Somebody speak English.
And so I explained to her my situation, ma'am. And I went through the whole spiel, and she was like, no problem. So she stood up, and she stood in that guy's face, and she was like, he said, and he walked off the bus. I just grabbed that lady, and I just,
guardian angel.
Yes. I just hugged her, and I'm like, ma'am, thank you so much. So we continue on traveling. We get to Texas. You know how you see in the movies, like when people get to where they want to go or to America, they bend down, they kiss the ground. I got off that bus and I bent down and I kissed the ground.
Oh my God.
So we have to go through customs, and I'm in the line with all the workers, the migrant workers. I'm in the line. And so the guy that's in front, that's checking their bags and checking the bags, he kept going.
Yeah.
He said, so I'm just in the line. He said, standing. He did it again. I went. So when I got up to him, he said, where did you come from? And why are you in this line? I say, sir, it's a long story. He said, just come. Just come. So he let me through. I was at the airport. I had to go. I forget where I was at, but then I called a cab to the airport, went up there, told the lady my situation. My plane had already gone. I said, ma'am, just get me to Florida. I don't care. Just get me to Florida. And she was like, well, the closest I can get you to Tampa is Orlando. Yes. She said, okay. She said, that'll be $500 and cents. I said, what? Yes, that'll be $500. I said, ma'am, yes. Let me tell you what I just went through. I said, first of all, I do not have $500.
Right. And I had a flight already.
Right. And so I told her, went through the whole spiel. She looked at me, she dropped her head, and she looked back at me, and she said, she handed me my tickets. She said, it's standby, but go up these stairs, this to Orlando. Man, I could have jumped across that counter and hugged that. That was nobody. I don't know how many people out there believe in Jesus Christ, but I do. That was nobody but Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Understand me. So I got
Oh
my
my God.
tickets, you know, got on a plane, got to Orlando. When I got to Orlando, which is like about like 45 minutes to an hour from me, I called my brother, he came and picked me up. I made it back home safely.
Yeah. I cannot believe for the life of me that you did not ever tell me
Man,
that story
listen.
until last year. Like, what?
Man, listen. I got stranded in France too, but I was at the airport. It was just missed my plane,
Yeah.
but that was an adventure.
Yeah, for
I could
sure.
have you could have never seen me again.
I don't even remember a damn piece of paper. That was.
Yeah,
Yeah. And can you believe, Tony, that she waited all the way till last year to tell me? And this was in
man.
2009.
Yeah.
And she was telling me we got together at the inductions. We first got together to eat. And she was like, I was stranded in Mexico because then I was like, what? Just stop telling me this.
Yeah, man.
What? Yeah,
That was
crazy story.
crazy.
Man.
That was crazy.
Well, I appreciate it. It's been a blast. This is literally probably the best interview I've ever done. I mean, my cheeks hurt from laughing so hard. I
True,
appreciate
true,
you.
true.
I didn't mean to keep you so long,
It's
but
all
I
good.
mean, it's
I'll be
all
cursing you out in the morning when I got to wake up. You're gonna
shit.
feel
Cause
me.
yeah, you gotta go to
If
work.
you,
What time you gotta go to work?
I have to. What time is it now? It is 11:07.
10 o'clock.
It's a
Oh wait, you're on a different time zone.
Yeah. It's 11:07 p.m. my time. I have to
Oh, it's
wake up at
10:07.
1 p.m. I mean 1 a.m. to be to work at 2 a.m.
Yeah, you're gonna be cussing me out
Yeah.
because you
So if
want to
you
go get a
feel
couple
something
hours.
when you're trying to sleep and you can't, you feel something. That's me.
Yeah, you're gonna be cussing me in a couple
It's
hours. You're gonna
all
be like,
good.
God damn it,
It's all good.
what the hell? Man. Well, I appreciate
No
it.
worries.
I'm still waiting on my visit though.
Chicago.
This vacation
I
visit.
got you.
And then I'm gonna definitely see about this fight in September.
Yes.
I gotta try to make that happen.
Yes. Make that happen.
And text me about what's coming up because I need to
I
know.
will.
Send me the juice. Send me the
I
tea.
will. I promise you I will.
All right. I appreciate you.
Yes. Yes.
All right. You have a great night. Try to get a nap.
Right. That part. Hey, thank you for joining in. Tony,
Yes. Thank you.
my girl Michelle.
Yes, Michelle. I appreciate
I don't know who
you.
else might be on, but true.
Whoever is on that didn't comment, we all appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. All right, my girl.
All right,
I'm
girl.
out.
Peace. All right, everyone. Thank you so much again for joining me tonight on No Punches Pulled with No Mercy. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Please like, subscribe, and share this episode. Share it. Spread the word. Let everybody know about No Punches Pulled with No Mercy and Talkin Fight. Bring the people in. Let's get some more people in here to learn about these great boxing journeys and stories. Thank you, Tony, Michelle. I appreciate you being here. Women's Boxing Channel. Everybody that was in here commenting. I know I had some new ones today that I don't have saved now, but Michelle D. Garcia. There was a couple at the beginning. I appreciate all you for coming in and also commenting and asking your questions. We love it when you guys get involved. But do make sure you guys are sharing it. Do make sure that you are following me on all my social media pages. There's two main ones. My podcast page, of course, No Punches Pulled with No Mercy. And then my boxing page, which is Brooke No Mercy Dierdorff #Millbrook. Those are the two ways you can always find out in advance who's going to be on the show every single week to week. So make sure you're following those to stay up to date on who's going to be the next guest. But again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for participating. I will see you guys same time, same place next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the next episode of No Punches Pulled with No Mercy. Until then, punch hard because nothing else matters. Have a good night.